like that. Woo!
What's good, everybody? Welcome to the Pull Up Show. My name is BJ Matthews, aka B Jizzle. Before we get started, follow us on the YouTube page, the Pull Up Basketball Podcast. Follow us on Twitter. You know what I'm saying? The Pull Up Basketball Podcast. Like, share, subscribe before you guys enter into my show, man. Wipe your feet. You guys have, you know what I'm saying, a great show coming for y'all today, man. Also, as well, go to our Cash App, $ BJ Matthews. Right at Project Masters is our PayPal. You know what I'm saying? Hit the like button when y'all enter in to get notifications out there, man. It's gonna be a great show for y'all today, man. And we gotta, you know what I'm saying, a lot of stuff to share. And the playoffs are about to get ready to start in less than 2 hours. But the team that we're going to talk about doesn't play till tomorrow, so we do have, a little bit more time to, kind of talk about this team. And I wanted to really, really have one more show until, I'm saying, the game time, because at the end of the day, man, there's always stuff going through my head about, certain stuff I want to tell y'all and stuff I want to say. So we got to get this all out before the first game. So let's get started first with the comments. You know what I'm saying? The comment section. We got my man, Alan NG. Shout out to Alan NG as well, man. He's been really, really on point with, what I'm saying, the Cash Apps, and also being a part of the Pull Up Basketball family, man. So definitely appreciate the $3 donation he just sent at 7:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. He said for ban the trolls. Yeah, man. We've been getting a lot of them trolls, man. We've been getting a lot of people coming in here trying to, mess up what we got going on. But it is what it is, man. That's the part of being great. You got to deal with trolls. You got to deal with people who, come in here, want to, say whatever just to get their shit off. But we gonna get into it, man. Thank you for the $3 donation, man. Also, for y'all other people, man, continuously listen to the show, man. Y'all understand, when I talk to y'all and I give information, bro, I want y'all to really understand, like, I really go hard. I really research. I really look at things in a very, very detailed way. And I want to make sure I give y'all all the quality information possible, right? Because what I've been seeing is, certain people who do not even take the time to really look into certain things and research and give their fan base and their people what they need to give them to be able to, leave a show. I want y'all to leave every single show thinking about something I said, right? Think about something that's on my mind, on y'all minds that I say. So when you guys, continuously support, donate, even if it's $2, $3, whatever, man, I always appreciate it, man. It doesn't have to be no $50, $100 donation, man. I understand, whatever it is, man, $2, $3, man, I'm cool with that, because that shows that it's appreciated. You know what I'm saying? But if y'all don't, man, y'all just hitting the like button, share, and subscribe is appreciation for me as well, right? My man Jose Ramirez said BJ and Ticket are going to receive ultimate respect when this series is over. And you know something? I'm going to say this. There's a lot of people, even Clipper fans, who are choosing the Suns based off of a number of different factors. And it's understandable, man. Like, if y'all ain't seen my last show, like, I understand why people are picking the Suns. But, part of, thing that me and Ticket have in common, shout out to my man Ticket, is we're not afraid to go against the grain. Right? Talk about two hoopers, like real legit hoopers that sees things at a different way than, a lot of people on YouTube. Right? Like, me and Ticket see things a whole different way. So, it doesn't surprise me. Me and him have the same pick. And, Ticket's been ripping the Clippers all season. So it's not no bias. It's basically he just looks at things a certain way, like I look at things. And, while we feel like the Clippers are going to win the series, like, I stood alone when the Russell Westbrook trade went down. I said we should get Russell Westbrook, and y'all have seen how much he's been a help to this team. I said that Paul George could not be the point guard of this team, and we needed Russell Westbrook. We got him. I said that Terrence Mann, shout out to my man Terrence Mann, I said he could not be the starter. I said when it comes to this situation, I don't think he would be able to handle that responsibility. He's a glue guy. He's a great, person that can get 25, 30 minutes a game, but I don't want him being my starting point guard. So in all three of those predictions, man, I stood alone in all three of those things. So I feel very comfortable with this one as well. But shout out to my man Jose Ramirez. Appreciate the love, man. Melo Riley said, let's go. You know what I'm saying? My guy, Melo Riley, you know what I'm saying? The realest salute, BJ and chat clip gang it on bang. Yes, sir. My man, Young Africa, pull up, pull up, pull up. Andre B, my man, Bubba said, Andre, keep calm as the Sixers open the can whoop ass. Yes, sir. What's up, my man? Mike, you know what I'm saying? Angela Bell said, what, BJ? I'm listening while getting my 6-year-old ready for his baseball game. Salute to my man, Angela Bell. Man, appreciate y'all, man, coming in here, man. Let's get it popping. You know what I'm saying? Hey, the Clippers, we got one more last video, man. One more last group huddle to talk about, you know, what's happening, what's going on, certain things that's been going on this week. And we've already talked about the matchup against the Phoenix Suns, the number 4 seed in the Western Conference, but you know, you can never do too much preparation, right? As I've told y'all before, when I look at matchups and I look at certain teams in the playoffs, I look at two things. When I look at playoffs, I look at two things. I look at the matchups you're going up against, and I look at the personnel. Those are the two main things I look at. The matchup you're going up against and your personnel, right? What is the matchup between the Clippers and the Suns? I look at, you know what I'm saying, Kawhi and KD. I look at Westbrook and Chris Paul. I look at Devin Booker / Eric Gordon and Paul George, which we're going to talk about in a little bit with the update that I just got. Zubac and DeAndre Ayton. I look at the bench, Clippers bench versus Suns bench. I look at the matchups. I don't look at all these. One of the problems I have with a lot of people on YouTube and just people in general, they want to go off of, you know, all these stats throughout the entire season, not understanding that those stats will not mean anything in the playoffs because you're facing a specific team possibly 7 times. So those stats are only going to go too far. When you talk about offensive rating, defensive rating, assists per game, and, you know, all those different statistics are, okay, those are fine, but you got to take them with a grain of salt, because what a team may do well, another team can take away. That's why if you look at these playoffs, there's going to be a number of upsets, because there were teams out here who were injured. There were teams out here who did low management. There were teams out here who just didn't, you know what I'm saying, take the season as seriously as they should. So there's a lot of factors that go through an 82-game season where you just can't look at the statistics in a whole and just be like, oh, okay, that's pretty much what it is, right? You got to look at the team that's on the floor right now against the other team that's on the floor right now and how they match up. You know what I'm saying? You may have a team like, I was watching the game last night between the Timberwolves and the Thunder. I knew the Timberwolves were going to win that game because, number one, the Thunder don't have any size inside to match up with Karl-Anthony Towns and Rudy Gobert. And you guys saw that they just had a dominant performance, right? They have SGA, they have, you know what I'm saying, young pieces, but they didn't have the team that the Timberwolves had. My belief is if New Orleans came out that playing game against the Thunder, they would have beat the Timberwolves. Why is that? Because they have guys inside that can actually score. They have more length, and they got, you know, 2 prime scores. Now, the only thing is that they didn't have Zion. If they had Zion, for sure think they would have beat the Timberwolves, but it ended up being the Thunder. And once the Thunder faced the Timberwolves, that was kind of like, okay, well, I knew they were going to lose because they're just a bad matchup because of their size. And you know what I'm saying? But the Thunder ended up losing to the Pelicans, or the Pelicans ended up losing to the Thunder, right? So again, it's not just about what a seeding is, or, you know, offensive rating, defense rating. You got to look at the team who they face. You got to look at the personnel that they have. So when we look at the Clippers and Suns, we notice, number one, that, and I'm gonna go through the Suns for the first part. My man, Dreamers Pro said, keep brushing, grind, never stop. Yes, sir. Appreciate you, man. That's my guy. Shout out to my man, Dreamers Pro, man. He said, keep pushing, the grind, never stop. Yes, sir. He already knows what's going on, bro. Go follow my man, Dreamers Pro. You know what I'm saying? He has great content, great work. Man, I appreciate what he's done, man. And shout out to him as well as his channel. Definitely appreciate you. Salute to my man, Little Rock. All right. So listen, if we look at the Clippers versus the Suns have a couple things that the Clippers don't have. Number one, right now, as it stands, the Suns are fully healthy, right? I think outside of Cameron Payne, the Suns are fully healthy. They have, you know, all their players, and they have all their, you know, pieces, all their, you know, horses in the den, which makes a difference, right? To win a championship, you're going to have a little bit of luck. You're going to have health on your side. And not to mention, the Suns have had this throughout the last couple of seasons. They've had health on their side. Their guys have been primarily healthy for the most part, right? Um, and when you face a team that's not fully healthy at the same, you're very vulnerable, right? Of course, the injury to Paul George right now is the advantage of the Suns as well. And I want to also bring up something that a lot of people who are picking the Suns, I would wonder if they would pick the Suns if this guy was playing starting game one, right? If Paul George is playing game one, I wonder if a lot of these Suns fans would still be confident about their series. But it is what it is. That's the one thing that's riding on the Suns' favor. The other side is they got, a guy named Devin Booker, who I'm not so sure what Ty Lue is going to do with D Book, because right now I think Kawhi and KD cancel each other out. I think Westbrook and Paul cancel each other out. I think DeAndre Ayton and Zubac, yes, Agent's a little bit better, but I think Zubac's going to be able to still have his impact. I'm going to be interested to see how Ty Lue is going to look at, that matchup with Devin Booker. Now, if you guys remember what I was saying, I feel like either you put Eric Gordon on Devin Booker or you put Kawhi Leonard on Devin Booker. Why is that? Because you have to find a way to nullify one of those two guys, and that's either KD or Devin Booker. If I look at matchups, and I'm going to say this again, if I look at who needs to be guarding who, and this is without Paul George, right? This is without Paul George. Y'all keep hitting the like button, hit that like button, man. Get the likes and notifications in here. If you look at Paul George and Kawhi Leonard, I'm sorry, if you look at the matchups, Westbrook and Chris Paul are going to match up with each other, right? Kawhi, I don't want him guarding Kevin Durant off the bat. I want Nicholas Batum guarding Kawhi or Kevin Durant, because like I told y'all before, KD wants to shoot over you. He does not want to blow past you. I've been watching the Suns pretty much a lot this season when they have Kevin Durant. They've been using him a lot as a spot shooter. And the reason why they've been doing it because of the Spain pick and roll, right? Y'all can see it on the screen, the 3 and the 4. That's going to be Kevin Durant and Josh Okogie at those positions with DeAndre Ayton as the 5. They're not using Kevin Durant as no ISO player. They're using him as a person who's, being in his spot. You guys see the yellow shade around each player in the 3 and 4 spot. That's where those two are going to be operating from. So it kind of benefits the Clippers because now you have a Kevin Durant who's not going to be just, looking to score everyone on the court, because that's not how the offense is ran in Phoenix. So it's going to be based off more on how the help side defenders of the Clippers be able to guard their space in their area. And by that, I mean Kawhi and Nicholas Batum, right? I want Nicholas Batum on KD because Nicholas Batum's the only person on the team with the length to meet Kevin Durant at the top of his shot. Kawhi, unfortunately, is a little bit too short for Kevin Durant. Yes, he's a great defender. He's an all-time defender. But in this situation, it's going to go by style. KD wants to shoot over you. Nicholas Batum has the length at 6'10" to actually meet KD at the top. Like I said, KD does not want to move around you. He's not going to try to go around. He's going to try to shoot over you with that hesitation pull up, with that left to right shot. With that, dribble to the right, get to the, elbow and pull up and shoot. Nicholas Batum's the only person with the length to at least meet KD at top. So that's one matchup I want on him. The other matchup with the whole Devin Booker situation, I don't mind Eric Gordon playing on Devin Booker, but here's the catch. If whoever guards D Book's going to have to be able to run around and actually chase his ass. Because of their defense, of the offense that they run, Devin Booker is going to be, running around on different screens and curls and stuff like that, coming off the mid-range shots. You're going to have somebody who's going to be able to run with D Book. Now, I know Eric Gordon is a little bit older. I think he's 34. But I saw Eric Gordon guard D Book in that fourth quarter last time they played fully healthy. And he pretty much, I wouldn't say stopped him, but he pretty much contained him. So does that translate to a 7-game series? I don't think so. I think if Eric Gordon guards D Book, I think D Book will still get more of his numbers. You're not going to stop because Devin Booker's a pretty prime scorer. But we've seen that Eric Gordon, I just would test it out. I would test it out to see how it goes. But if they really want to get a head start and actually try to leave nothing to chance, then I would see how Kawhi Leonard takes this challenge. Now, This is where Kawhi Leonard has to be that playoff Kawhi that I believe he is, because he's not going to be able to just do it on the offensive end. They have to limit the options of the Phoenix Suns because they don't have PG right now for these first two games. So they're gonna have to limit these options, right? And Kawhi Leonard at this point, if I put him on Devin Booker, that means Kawhi has to take it and dig deep down himself and be like, "Am I still that person?" I personally believe he is. That's just me. I've seen this. I've seen this cat in these situations. He's at the point right now of his career where he has something to prove. This is the time if Kawhi Leonard can pull this out, or actually, you know what I'm saying, win a series with PG being out the first couple games, then his legacy takes even a bigger jump, right? So if I put Kawhi on D Book, I truly believe Kawhi would be all in D Book shit. He ain't backing him down. He's gonna be chasing him around screens. And this is why I will say the low management pay off. If the low management pays off, that what Kawhi Leonard chose to do by sitting out these certain games. That's why I would say, right? Kawhi don't play defense anymore. Well, that's not true. He plays defense, and again, like I said before, bro, the playoffs are different. You understand, like Kawhi Leonard does be coasting at certain times. I've noticed that. It's not that he can't play defense; he be coasting at times. Hoop session. Hoop session said when Clippers lose in the first round, y'all gonna say all summer if PG was healthy. I'm gonna get to Paul George in a minute, man, because people again keep saying that that PG's gonna be out all this extended time. I keep telling y'all that's not gonna happen, and I'm gonna show y'all in a minute. But hey, yeah. And I just have a question. If Paul George wasn't even healthy, and this is why I'm not gonna even go with this, but I just want to know if y'all would have been picking Phoenix if Paul George been playing the whole series. That's all I want to know, because I don't think all this trash talking that y'all talking about, y'all have not even dropped one bet to anybody in the Clipper Nation, man. So, but it's all good. But yeah, I would put Kawhi on D Book, and that would shut that option down because again, you got to nullify one of those options, right? Then I look at the Ivica Zubac DeAndre Ayton matchup. Now, I remember watching Zubac 2 years ago against the Suns, and he missed, I think, the last two games of that series. But leading up to that, Zubac was playing very solid. And that was two couple seasons ago. I've seen the growth in Ivica Zubac from that 30-point, 29 rebound game he had against Miles Turner early this season. Him being the defensive anchor to this team while Kawhi and PG were out at the beginning of the year. I see a lot of positives from Ivica Zubac. I see toughness. I see a traditional center. I see a guy who can rebound the ball. And I think that he is looking at this like, okay, well, I get a chance to go up against a guy named DeAndre Ayton, who is definitely a prime. I wouldn't definitively say a top 5 center, but he's definitely a person who's a young, great center. I think the addition with Kevin Durant has really helped DeAndre Ayton's development because he's been using DeAndre Ayton like he's supposed to be used, right? So Zubac and Ayton is not going to be a landslide. I just want y'all to understand that. But what I will say is that based off that offense that the Suns run with that Spain pick and roll, if you start seeing Chris Paul find DeAndre Ayton on that backside screen when he sets a screen for Chris Paul and he rolls off of Devin Booker's back screen, and Zubac's not able to recover or switch effectively because Zubac's had trouble with switching with guards and stuff like that, you're going to see problems, right? You're going to see a lot of problems. And that's why I think you're going to have to make a change to, take Zubac out the game and put a more agile center in there like a Mason Plumlee or possibly a Robert Covington. Like, and again, that's another question. I'm going to see how they play Robert Covington in this series, how Ty Lue plays him. But as far as the Zubac and Ayton matchup, I still think that Zubac's going to get what he wants on the offensive end as well. Right? Y'all hit the like button, hit the share, hit the subscribe. And also, I want to talk about this other matchup I think is going to be very interesting to watch, and that's going to be Russell Westbrook versus Chris Paul. Now, this is something that people need to also remember as far as a basketball player. Shout out to my man Epic Plays. You know what I'm saying? Salute. God first was good, man. Which y'all appreciate y'all coming through. Westbrook and Chris Paul is going to be an interesting matchup. I'm looking forward to as well. Westbrook has a lot to prove this playoffs. You're talking about somebody whose character has been messed with, has been, you know what I'm saying, detained. You talk about somebody that's actually been, you know what I'm saying, humiliated by the organization before, been disrespected. This is a top 75 player, by the way, who, when he was with the Lakers, he was still giving you 17.7 rebounds and 7 assists. That was a down year for Russell Westbrook. I'm not sure people understand like what Russell Westbrook is as a player, and this is why I wasn't surprised when we brought him on the team. That's why I was so high on him bringing him on, because I knew what he would bring to our team. So he's completely re-energized the Clippers to the point where if we didn't have him, we really wouldn't have a chance, because we wouldn't have nobody to go at Chris Paul. So I expect Russell Westbrook to be the X factor this series. I expect Russell Westbrook to be that second option until PG comes back, where you're going to be seeing him actually not only scoring the ball, but assisting the ball at a high level. See, people like to bring up, you know, Westbrook's turnovers, and that's fine. But nobody likes to bring up how much of an elite playmaker he really is. Nobody likes to bring up how many assists he averages per game. Nobody likes to bring up how he gets his big man involved. Nobody likes to bring up how he gets his shooters involved. Nobody likes to bring up how he puts pressure on it. Nobody brings up none of the positives that Russell Westbrook does. They compare this dude like all he does is turn the ball over. Does he make turnovers at certain times? Yes. Does he shoot, you know what I'm saying, shots that are ill-advised sometimes? Yes. But even with that, bro, like, what point guard doesn't turn the ball over? What point guard, you know what I'm saying, doesn't have certain points of the game where they're not, you know what I'm saying, they're at their best? I mean, they act like Russell Westbrook just turns the ball over and just shoots the ball off the backboard, and that's it. And that's just how much of the cancer it was playing for the Lakers and playing under that system, because they've completely tarnished what Russell Westbrook is. You got people out here surprised what Russell Westbrook. I'm like, bro, this is a top 75 player who's still, I think he's 33 years old. So when I look at him against Chris Paul, who's a 38-year-old point guard, I see Russell Westbrook giving Chris Paul problems on that offensive end. And that's why the big thing that the Clippers have to do, they got to take away CP3, because that's their anchor, that's their heart, that's their orchestrator. So you have Westbrook, who's putting pressure on Chris Paul on the offense end, and Terrence Mann putting pressure on the defensive end. He's going to be another person who's 6'5", who has length, who's able to, you know, guard Chris Paul full court. Now, if you guys remember just last season when the Pelicans played the Suns, outside of that game 6, they really gave Chris Paul problems. Jose Alvarado, Herb Jones, all those guys were giving Chris Paul problems, right? So at this point, so that's what it pretty much is. Hey, Sturdy, what's good, man? He said, according to a few Clipper beat writers, Poitier expected to make that. See, that's the problem. That wasn't the issue. People think that, and I'm gonna get to PG in a minute. I'm not gonna even go right now, but y'all just stay tuned. Terrence Mann, at this point right now, is an X factor in this series as well. So that's going to be more pressure on Chris Paul. You have to be able to make Chris Paul work on both sides of that ball, because that's what's going to tire his ass out, and that's what's going to make it where now the offense is going to be, because Phoenix goes by a set system. They have that, what their set system is, that's what they go by. They don't have really much room to change what they have, like their personnel, because pretty much what you see is what you get with Phoenix. Anytime they're forced to adjust, and that's why I think Ty Lue is going to be a very integral part. Anytime they have to adjust their offense and their defense, they have problems. You talk about a couple years ago in the finals when they won the first 2 games against the Milwaukee Bucks, and then they lost 4 straight. That to me said that you have a hard time adjusting. right? You win the first two and you lose four straight. That means Milwaukee did something that you could not counter. And then the next year you had the Dallas Mavericks, where you won the first two games, you lost the second two games, the next two games, and you won game 5, you lost game 6, and then you come around game 7 and you just get destroyed on your home court. I don't think Monty Williams is a coach when it comes to adjustments. And I think Ty Lue is going to be doing a lot of things to make Monty Williams have to think about what he's doing. And that's why I think that's an advantage the Clippers have, nonetheless. But I want to play a short video for y'all, man. And I want to get into this whole Paul George situation, because Ace 30 already said it. Paul George was seen shooting with the team at practice just this few days ago. I believe was it Tuesday? So I want y'all to see Paul George's little work. It's about 2 minutes, and then we're gonna go into a couple of things, and we're gonna let people in.
I gotta make it. You gotta put it right in front of the rim though. You gotta put that whole right in front of that. We're close enough.
You mentioned that he's not obviously, but seeing him on the floor, being able to catch and shoot at the very least, how encouraging is that as far as where he was when he got hurt 3 weeks ago?
Yeah, well, it's encouraging, to see, especially from a nasty blow that he took. Thought it could be a lot worse than what it was. And so just seeing him be able to do some things and actually starting to feel better, that's good to see, because you don't want to see your players get hurt and get injured, and it could have been a lot worse than what it was.
You see the schedule that came out, the cadence is quick, like every other day pretty much when the season starts, except for after game 4. As far as a potential return for Paul, does he need to clear some benchmarks? Does he need to practice? Is there something that you need to see before you would feel comfortable with throwing him out there in any series?
Yeah, well, I'm not a doctor, but I really do lean on medical staff, because like I said, I think we have one of the best medical staffs in the league, and so we're definitely not going to do anything to hurt PG. Even if he does try to come back and he's not right, then we're not going to let him go, because we're not going to let him injure himself and make it worse than what it really is. And so when he comes back, we're going to make sure he's 100. We're close to 100% without being able to injure it even more.
All right, so those are 2 videos right there that y'all saw Paul George. Again, hit the like button. We got the like, share, and subscribe, man. Hit that like button, man, so we get the people in here, man. This is an important video, and you know what I'm saying? This is the last video before the playoffs start. You saw Paul George getting up shots at practice, this past week. And I got a few things to say. Number one, this is why I say that you can't trust everything the media says. You really cannot trust, again, what the media tells y'all, because all they're doing is getting information from the organization. They don't really know. So this is going to Sturdy's question. What he's saying, according to a few Clipper beat writers, PG didn't expect to make it out the first round. I didn't hear that. The only beat writer that the Clippers really have that I pay attention to is tommorrow Azarali. Law Murray, I pay attention to him to an extent, but even him, even anybody in the media, I take with a grain of salt because they can be wrong. I've seen them, this whole situation with Paul George, they've been wrong. First, they said, going back to him actually spraining his knee, the Clippers come out with a story from Shams saying that they feared that the injury is worse than what it was. They fear like he actually tore some cartilage or actually was a worse injury. That's what Shams reported. Well, it turns out that he was only reevaluated. He was going to be reevaluated for 2 or 3 weeks. They were saying that he was going to possibly be out for the entire season. Right? They said that he was going to be out for the entire season. You know what I mean? That was the first thing. Law Murray said after the report, he said 2-3 weeks mean he's definitely out for the next 7 games, likely rest for the rest of the season, and very questionably ready for any playing games if Clippers cannot secure a top 6 seed. Now, that was a true report, but like I said, with Shams, he was reporting the same day or the same night saying that the Clippers fear could be very serious. Well, it seems like it wasn't as serious as they thought it was because he has a chance to be back. So that's one reason, one way you were not correct. Then we see that, they're saying that Paul George has to, he's still in a cast, like he was still like in a brace. He was walking gingerly. He wasn't, walking like himself. Like people with the Clippers, fan base talking about, oh yeah, Paul George doesn't look right. He doesn't look like he's walking normal. This was just last Saturday. This was just 7 days ago. He has a brace on coming onto the game. And then you see him not more than 3 days later back on the court already shooting. Right? So people were already surprised on that notion. You had Usmik say that they were like, man, Paul George looks different. Like he was like, he looks like he's not on the court already shooting. So that's another instance that a lot of people took, they shouldn't take with a grain of salt. Then we found out PG has been doing heavy cardio over the last couple of weeks, working out 6 days a week for 3 hours a day. And actually his recovery has been faster than we expected. Understand something. The muscle's healed. His knee is already healed. If it wasn't healed, he wasn't be able to do any type of any activities on the court. If it wasn't his knee is already healed. Now it's up to Paul George how fast he turns back. I want y'all to understand something. When it comes to rehab and actually getting back from an injury, now it's about what you do to get yourself back out there, how hard you push, and what you do to get prepared. So you can't go by a specific timetable for everybody because everybody's different. We saw Giannis Antetokounmpo had the same injury Paul George had. Man was back on the court in less than a week. Now it was dangerous because, he could have easily re-aggravated that injury. But what happens? He turns around and wins the championship for the Milwaukee Bucks. Right? So everyone's different. Everybody ain't the same. Everybody ain't out here saying, well, he's going to miss the first. Bro, here's why I say he should be back by game 3. And y'all hit that like button, man. Y'all hit the like button for the info I'm sharing, man. Hit that share, hit the subscribe. Appreciate all the cash apps that's been going through as well. I really appreciate what y'all been doing. Right. This is the playoffs. And shout out to Ashley Collins, who actually is looking at things how she should. This is the playoffs. This ain't the regular season no more. This isn't, oh, well, let's focus on, let's focus on, having Paul George at 110%. He needs to be playing and all this. Let me tell y'all something. If they wait too long, let's just go with everybody's opinion, what they think is going to happen. Let's say they wait to game 6. Are we sure that there's going to be a game 6 without Paul George even there? I'm just going to be honest for a minute. I need to see these first 2 games first, but let's say that the Suns jump on us those first 2 games and you don't have Paul George there. And then you have games 3 and 4 where it's 3-1. Now it becomes very, very interesting. Now it becomes, okay, well, they didn't have Paul George the first 4 games and it's cost them 3 games. Right? Then you're going to start hearing people say if they had Paul George, it's been different. I'm like, no, I don't want to hear that. Because this seemed like a conscious choice. And this is something that the Clippers been doing all season. Being overly cautious. about injuries, and it actually put the Clippers in a bad spot where they're now the 5th seed when they were projected to be one of the top 3 seeds in the Western Conference. Load management has not worked for the Clippers. It hasn't. So when I see a guy like Giannis Antetokounmpo come back from the same exact injury in less than a week, and we see Paul George has been out for a month, who's already, it doesn't surprise me he's already out on the court shooting. It does not surprise me, because when I looked up this injury, I said this is really a 2 to 4 week injury if you factor in, what I'm saying, the healing of the muscle, recovery, rehab, all that stuff. So I don't know Paul George's initial, like his the behind the scenes, was what they're talking about, with this injury. But what Ty Lue's saying that he's leaning on the medical staff, I just hope, in my opinion, they do the right thing. If the man can go out there and play, and he's actually feeling like he can go out there and play, you got to let him go and at least, test it out. You cannot hold this man out knowing that the season's on the line to basically, be over. Like that's going to be another lost season. That's going to be another season where you didn't have your best play, your second best player is going to be another what if. There's no time for that. You got to understand the Suns and the Clippers have unfinished business, because what I'm telling y'all, this is why I also want to bring up too. The Clippers feel like the Suns robbed them in 2021 because they didn't have Kawhi Leonard. And Suns fans will admit this. If Kawhi Leonard doesn't get hurt, they win that series. That's still in their heads to this day, because they feel like that's cost them a championship. So you think that the Clippers, that they want to sit back, you think Paul George wants to sit back and allow this team to just go ahead and win another championship without him being out there? That's why do you guys think that he's working so damn hard to get back on the court? Because he understands basically that this is the time to get this championship. The West is wide freaking open. And then you're dealing with a team, like I said before, with the Suns, who benefited from playing teams that have been hurt. That's what's been going on. They have not played a team who's really been fully healthy. And when they do, a lot of the Milwaukee Bucks, a lot of the Dallas Mavericks, they get exposed. Right? Patrick Beverley already brought out the 4-1 on the Phoenix Suns. Like, no one in the league is afraid of him. No one in the league is afraid of Phoenix Suns. No one trusted their mental. That's why I've been telling y'all still that no one trusted their mental makeup. So at the end of the day, you can't be so overly cautious and to cost yourself a chance. If the man is seen out there, he's actually shooting, okay, test to see what he's like actually doing on the court. What are you doing what do you gain by holding this guy back when he's showing that he can actually be out there on the court? It doesn't make no sense. You're just giving this Phoenix Suns team another opportunity, a straight, easy way to the finals. I don't want to see any more of this, are the best players off on the court. I don't want to see that. I want to see both teams fully healthy. I want to see both teams on the court. Age 30, who have they been kicking? Whose ass they've been kicking? They've been kicking people's asses who ain't been healthy. And Luka Doncic already embarrassed them. Like I said, bro, like I don't have to really understand I already know what's going on with the Phoenix Suns. And players in the league actually know how the Phoenix Suns are built. They're a mentally weak team. Exactly. I watched the Suns get blown out by Luka. I watched KD get locked up and swept by CP3 leads, NBA and blow leads. Suns got gentlemen swept by they weak. Yeah, they are weak. And when I say that, people think I'm like bashing this. I'm like, all this stuff is true. I picked the Suns last year to beat the Mavericks. I picked them. I can't go and just because I bring in a KD and say they automatically gonna win this series. And like I said, if PG was on the court, if PG's on the court, all these Suns fans are not going to be betting that Paul George is going to be. They're going to, like I said, what the fuck was Phoenix before they even got Kevin Durant? Weren't they like the 7th seed at one point in the Western Conference? So I know what I'm dealing with, bro. But we're going to have to also, and also the schedule of the Clippers and Suns. We're going to see what happens, bro. We're going to see what happens because Melo, he is top 10. He's better than your guy, Devin Booker. Quit acting like Devin Booker is this all-world player, man. Made one playoff series outside of his 7-year career, and I don't want to hear nothing about his teammates. Because if you saying he's that guy, you shouldn't miss the first 5 years of your playoff career. You don't want to. That's retarded. He said, BJ, let people talk. Let's wait until they actually play the game. As they speak about booking KD, CP3, they should think about Kawhi, Westbrook, and Powell. We'll see. I think that a person like Melo is gonna come in here and sock all this shit. But like when Carson pulled his card just last week, he talking about it's Easter Sunday, bro. So like that's why I say like they all bark but no bite. They all bark but no bite. If you had all this energy, bro, why don't you bet the man last week? Why don't you bet the man? Now, me personally, I didn't come at you with that energy. But why don't you bet the man last week when he called you out and called the rest of the Phoenix Suns supporters out? Where he said, I'm gonna drop 1,000. I'm gonna drop. I want 1,000 to drop for this bet. You a damn lie, Melo. He said that he wanted to bet you, and you talking about it's Easter Sunday. Do you want me to play the video and the audio, bro? I don't want to do that to you, bro. I really don't. I really don't want to do that to you. He said all that. He said I would hold the money and all that. You didn't want to take the bet. It was a bet that was made between Carson and everybody, and you didn't want to take the bet. Everybody was quiet as hell, bro. Like I said, bro, like every note. I'm gonna go ahead and drop the link for y'all. Oh, I don't know that nigga. You didn't know the niggas that you bet last year, bro. And you still you didn't know the niggas you bet last year with Jason Tatum in that bet. And you lost so much money. That's why I be laughing, bro. You lost money already betting on this dude, and you want to have your chest out now again. I have a lot to say about this series, man. But it's gonna be interesting, man. All I'm saying, once we get all this situated right now, bro. Yeah, we got 2 Suns fans in here. We got H30 and Melo. What's good, man?
Yeah, BJ, don't play with me. I'm not a fan of no team or player. Don't play with me, BJ. Second thing is I'm just being objective. You know how it is. Every time I come up here, I don't do narratives. I'm not Dreamers Pro. I don't do narratives. I just go by the game. I just be objective. But anyway.
But Dreamers Pro ain't just narratives, bro. He does break down. He breaks down the game too. I ain't gonna do that. He has lives. I've been following. He breaks down the game too.
And BJ, I know over time you're gonna understand. Like I don't just talk out of emotion or just while doing my research. So let me get my breakdown of this series. All right, I think it's gonna be competitive. I'm not with the majority of people saying it's gonna be a wash. And PG's that big of a loss. Now I respect what the Clippers have. You know me. I've been the main one defending Westbrook and keeping it real about his impact. And that's not going to change this series. He's both. And beyond BJ, I'm gonna keep it real with both teams. If you're gonna say no one's afraid of the Suns, I feel the same. People feel the same way about the Clippers. If you want to say the Suns have a history of folding, the same thing with the Clippers. But just like the Clippers, the Suns don't have elite rim protection either. That's more advantageous to the Clippers because they have more guys that can put pressure on the rim than opposed to the Suns. That's number one. Number two, I think due to the Clippers' depth, you guys are going to have more flexibility in your lineups. You guys, Ty Lue's notoriously known for throwing different defensive adjustments, zones, and hunting down matchups in playoff series. He is going to show you, BJ, why they hired that man and why he's going to make this series competitive. Third, the reason why I got y'all losing is primarily because of this. Even though the Phoenix Suns haven't developed a high, in my opinion, a high enough defensive continuity in 12 games, they still have a great offensive continuity. You guys don't. y'all rely on ISO situations, and even worse with Paul George because y'all was hitting y'all stride before PG got hurt. Due to that, I don't think y'all gonna adjust offensively enough to exploit the Suns' weaknesses enough. Lastly, the X factor. 'Cause I like to give X factors for both teams. The X factor, in my opinion, for the Clippers is actually going to be their guards, specifically Terrence Mann, Eric Gordon. What the Suns are going to do at some point, they're going to start pressuring Kawhi. They're going to make Kawhi a playmaker. So what that means is, what are the role players, like specifically Eric Gordon, Terrence Mann, what are they going to do in regards to keeping pressure on the Suns defense? They can't just relegate themselves to spot up 3-point shooters. They also have to make plays for other teammates. The loss of PG does not just mean you guys take a hit defensively. You guys also take a hit offensively. He was y'all second playmaking. He was y'all second initiator in y'all playmaking. So because of that, Kawhi has to step up. Westbrook has to step up. And matter of fact, like I said before, your guards in general have to step up to replace that playmaking. Now, I agree with you. You can't take the media face value, especially because of players' injuries. But that's why I'm strictly going off Paul George's words. I've been watching Paul George's podcast since day one. He's been very transparent on his status in terms of getting back. The last episode that they uploaded, it was filmed about 5 days ago, right? At that time, he said he was shooting at a standstill. I know people personally who work in NBA as trainers, as part of the athletic training staff. Obviously not for the Clippers franchise, for the Knicks franchise, but it's the same process. You go through a standstill, then you go through motion, then you do 3-on-3s and 5-on-5s. The only way Paul George was able to expedite half that second process if he signed waivers and paperwork. But in my opinion, like I said in the chat, I don't think the Clippers front office nor medical staff will change their health philosophy within 2 weeks. All year, they've been cautious with Kawhi PG health. There's no reason. I don't see no reason why. I understand what you're saying in terms of being competitive and how the West is wide open. I just don't see the Clippers front office and medical staff changing their mind because of these opportunities when they haven't shown any of that all season long. All right. Last thing, and I'm gonna pass the mic. Ty Lue, I do agree with you. I think Ty Lue is a better playoff coach than Monty Williams. He's the reason why this series is going to be competitive. But the X factor for the Suns is actually going to be DeAndre Ayton. DeAndre Ayton has to dominate on the boards. Believe it or not, you guys are about the same in terms of rebounding the ball. So if DeAndre maintains his interior presence on the boards and also accepts his role offensively in terms of being the third option, then you guys are in trouble. But those are my two X factors. That's the outcome I have predicted for the series. And it's honestly, at this point, is looking extreme. I don't want Paul George to rush back. I always believe a player's health should always trump the team's wants. Period. I think me personally, BJ, you experience knee injuries. I experience knee injuries, and I work with plenty of people who have before. It is. I do agree with you. At this point, the ligament is not damaged. That's proof of that. It's more so recondition the muscle, recondition the quad and the hamstring. That takes days, especially at a playoff level. So I think he shouldn't come back unless he's healthy enough. Unless that man is willing to say he's healthy enough, around 80% of health. Otherwise, there's no need for that man to rush back. Y'all have another year if things don't pan out. You have a good chance next year that things don't pan out, to be honest with you. Because due to the new CBA, that's y'all window, unfortunately.
Well,
but
I'm gonna
go ahead.
Yeah, I'm gonna let that's a good as still cool. I'm gonna get back to you, Ace 30. Going with a Mello. What's good, man?
What's going on, man?
What you got, bro?
Hey, man. You talking about we soft and we ain't proved nothing. Hey, man. I don't know if you think because Russell Westbrook just way faster than CP3 that he just gonna outplay CP, but he's not smarter than CP3, bro. CP3 not gonna turn the ball over. Westbrook gonna get yanked because at some point he gonna do some dumb shit. And you think starting Batum on Durant, that's not gonna work. If you go look at the stats when he played Batum, he stay cooking Batum. So At the end of the day, bro, y'all got the names, y'all got the deeper team. You know, we ain't got the flashy name from 1 to 15, but for some reason, when I watch the Suns play, the bench can ball. The bench can ball. So shit, hey man, PG, no PG, it don't matter, bro. Y'all niggas gonna lose. So I ain't really got too much to say.
All right, Carson, you heard that? Melo want to bet you, man. If you in here, come in the chat.
Yeah, nigga.
Come in the chat. We got E. What's good, bro?
Stop playing.
E. All right. Get my shine on. What's good, man?
What's good, bro? New to the channel. We'll start off with that first.
What's
I
up?
watch a lot of YouTube videos. A lot of people don't catch my eye, bro. But your basketball IQ, the way you break stuff down, the way you speak, I appreciate the show. All
Respect, bro.
right. So let's kill the turnover stuff, because if you're gonna bash on turnover, then you got, how did LeBron get 4 rings when he leads NBA history in turnovers? So that's kind of overrated to an extent.
How many rings Westbrook got?
Oh, hold on. I didn't interrupt you. You hold on.
Yeah.
So with the turnovers, that comes along. That's when you bring Kawhi into the equation. All right. Those guys in Toronto weren't doing nothing until Kawhi got there. And then when Kawhi got there, he elevated them. So that's what leaders do. That's what leaders are supposed to do. All right. So here's the thing. Westbrook, I expect, and I don't even like Westbrook like that, but I expect Westbrook to play better. I expect him to take this personal. And I expect Ty Lue to put Booker and CP in defensive action, and they're going to have to guard this man. And if it's me, if I was coaching, I'm posting Booker and Booker and CP up early and often with Westbrook or Kawhi, whoever they happen to slip on, it can post up, and I'm putting them in foul trouble. But the Suns gonna have to double. So that's how Ty should approach this series. He also should approach this series with this X factor. All right, people get confused when you watch players play against big time, like what I call the big stage, versus bums. All right, so like T-Man, bro, you go watch Memphis. You go watch when they started T-Man in Memphis. He stayed on Ja all the whole game. Ja was 11-30, 8 turnovers. Ja had 30-something points, but that's because he was running into the paint against centers, and none of that was really on T-Man. But you also watch the Pelicans game. Even though they lost, T-Man was on CJ the whole fourth quarter. CJ didn't have a whole point the whole fourth quarter. He never left CJ. CJ couldn't even get the rock. And when he did get the rock, he had to pick up his dribble and pass the ball. T-Man is the X factor. I'm concerned about the series if Ty Lue does not start T-Man, and if he does start him, if he waits too long in the series to start him. Like, you can't give the Suns a 2-1 lead or a 3-1 lead or 2-0 lead and say, all right, let's put T-Man in. I mean, you can, because the Suns have blown series, so we can come back. But T-Man is the X factor. If he starts and matches Booker with T-Man minute for minute, it's going to be a long series for the Suns. Because once you eliminate Booker, now you're talking Kawhi and KD. All right. Scoring-wise, I think they're going to wash out. All right. And if T-Man can handle Booker on his own, then now you can just focus on taking KD out the game. Once you do that, now the Suns got to outscore Power. They don't got no guards that's stopping. Power's finna average 25 in this series, and that's not me overhyping. That's fact. They can't guard everybody. Okay, so you want to put you're gonna put a Koji or Kobe, whatever his name is, on Kawhi.
It's too small.
He's too small, exactly. So Kawhi just gonna start posting him up and abusing him. Now you got to bring another double team. So now you got a double team Westbrook where he abuses them little guards, and now you got to double team Kawhi. Okay, so who you got on the bench? Torrey Craig. All right, I see the Suns saying Torrey Craig gonna have to guard Kawhi. Okay, so is he gonna start? Because if he ain't gonna start, now y'all in the same dilemma with Craig that we in the dilemma with T-Man. All right. So now you focusing Craig on Kawhi, if that's what you want to do. Now you're gonna put a Koji or Kobe on the bench. Now he's checking Powell. You think so he gonna stop Powell from getting 20 plus? I don't think so, because Powell was a veteran. He gonna draw fouls. Without
I wanted to ask a question before and I appreciate you. So can you tell me how many games Josh Okogie has played in the playoffs?
I can't. I got something else. I want to fact check somebody. I watched on one of your podcasts. It was the first one I watched the other day, and the cats was going back and forth. They was arguing, debating, and one of them cats tried to say that Buddy was shooting. And you can go check your comments. I commented on that video, even though it wasn't live. It was after the video. I commented on that video. Torrey Craig does not shoot. First of all, he shoots 39%, not 40. I know it's not a big difference, but it's still a difference. He shoots three 3-pointers a game, not 5. So I don't know who that cat was, but he was lying in that video. And I put the comments. I put the comments in that video. That was a lie.
That was me.
But if he shoots 39%, okay. Well, T-Man shoot 39%. So PG is out, and if he's in this, I don't believe. I'm with you. Saying I don't think the Suns are betting what they betting with PG in the series. I think that's cap, but you can't. I mean, they can say what they're gonna say. But without PG in the series, the Suns still got hella problems. Zubac, all right, and we can't go back 2 series or 2 years ago, whatever, talking about Zubac versus Ayton, right? Because Zubac was not the same player then, and Ayton was not the same player then they are now. Zubac is a grown ass man in that paint right now. All right. So if Ayton even thinks about getting in foul trouble, now you just elevated Westbrook. Now you got a whole nother problem on your hands. So and Zubac has really surprised me this year with that. I don't know if he's been training with Akeem Olajuwon, bro, but his footwork is crazy in the paint. Now he's not Akeem, obviously, don't go quote saying I said this and that. But Zubac can do work in that paint, and he is going to shoot that ball over the top of Ayton in that paint. And ain't nothing Ayton gonna do about it. So he's gonna have to foul him or hope he misses the shot. So with that said, it's going to be a long series, but the Suns got to worry about a lot more than just Paul George, bro. And if the Suns want to say, well, did y'all see we 8-0? Okay, well, if y'all want to go that route, then eliminate KD's history. Okay, eliminate Westbrook's history. Have you seen what Westbrook been doing versus top playoff teams? He been cooking. He fucking cooked Memphis the other night. So if y'all want to brag about beating the injured ass Bulls and this, that, and the third, and you want to ignore KD getting locked the fuck up and getting embarrassed, humiliated, and be honest, that's why he asked out of Brooklyn. He's scared of Boston. So the same way that like that, really all three of them, Harden, Kyrie, and KD, all ran from the spotlight. They all ran from it. They all got their ass out of Brooklyn because they were all scared that they was about to get humiliated because they knew with all that offense in Brooklyn, they can't guard. You still got to play defense, bro. You got to stop the Bucks, not just score on the Bucks. You got to stop the Celtics, not just score on all that offensive chatter, bro. You still got to go on the other end of the court. This ain't golf where you just line up and hit the ball, keep hitting the ball down the court, and you ain't got to play no defense. Like, come on, bro. The Suns have got a lot to worry about. And I'm gonna tell you this: T-Man can. If Ty Lue unleashes T-Man, every time he gets a starting lineup, dudes go off and score 20 points. So that's a whole nother problem you got to worry about scoring. Bro, the Suns got a lot more problems than Paul George, bro. And I know I'm long-winded. I know I talk, but I kind of was going off the last video plus this video. But the Suns got a lot to worry about, bro. I'll let somebody else go.
Appreciate that, bro. Appreciate y'all. Appreciate everybody coming in, man. Like, share, subscribe as well. You know what I'm saying? Hit the Cash App. Hit the PayPal, you know what I'm saying? In the top of the chat box is the link where y'all can go and send y'all, super comments and stuff like that. Shout out to Mrs. Tay for the $9 donation as well. She just dropped. So if y'all want to, do your donations or y'all love to the podcast, make sure y'all go through our super chat and go through our Cash App and PayPal. My man Bruce, my right hand. No, Young Africa. My bad. I'll skip Young Africa. What's good, brother? 1-1.
Got me on the bench like Robert Covington out here, BJ.
1-1, brother.
Wagwan, brother. My brother. How you doing, man? I'm
feeling
okay,
good,
man.
bro.
Nice breakdown, man. Like I said that early in the season, man. You need more theory on basketball. So that was a nice breakdown. I learned a lot of things, man. Spain pick and roll, not nice terminology, man. It's cool, man. So let me say what I'm gonna straight up just say I got Suns in 5, right? And the reasons I got Suns in 5, BJ, is one, PG is a big loss, and I expect him probably to come back later in the series, maybe a do or die game if he needs to, not 100%. I could see him doing that, but PG is a big loss. As much as I cook PG, it's a big loss, right? And this is why I say that's going to be tough for. That's why, and this is why I say Suns in 5, right? The offense of the LA Clippers. And first off, to the brother that he said, and not to go back and forth, but the Suns are a top 7 defense in the NBA this season, right? So they do have defense, and so they actually rated as a better defense than the LA Clippers, right? If I look up the Clippers defensive rating, I do not believe it is better than number 7.
15, like 15.
So 15, so 18 actually. So below league average, in the bottom half of the league. And so they got a great defense. It hasn't got worse with KD, and it's at about the same pace with AD. And so they do have defense. And so I would say this: the offense of the Clippers is my issue, right? And my question is, when Kawhi Leonard is off the floor, BJ, how will you get to scoring, right? Because Norman Powell, as the head of the offense, isn't a great offense, and it hasn't run very productively as you need in the playoffs against a great offensive team like the Phoenix Suns, which I don't expect all three of the CP3, Kevin Durant, or Devin Booker to be off the floor. I expect one of those guys on the floor at all times, and so they will have one of their offensive firepower on the court. And so where does the scoring come from, right? And where does the rim pressure come from? Now, Norman Powell can do that, but he's not a playmaker. Kawhi Leonard is going to have to be a playmaker. Not to repeat what Sturdy said, but he's going to have to be a playmaker. And that's the question of if he can do that and if he can beat you like that. And so the offense is a huge question. And then it comes to when you said Nicholas Batum guarding KD, I wonder how that's going to go and if that will be effective enough. Because essentially, Kawhi has to far outplay Kevin Durant in this series for y'all to have a chance. He got to be way better than KD, not just at the same level, not cancel each other out. He got to be better, bro, which means he needs an all-time Kawhi Leonard series like we've seen in the past. He needs to bring that this series, 35 points on ridiculous efficiency and elite defense at the same time. I don't expect him to guard KD the whole game, and if Nicholas Batum can do that until the fourth quarter and then Kawhi can switch on to him, I could see that happening. But I got huge quick questions marks on that. And then how do you slow down the offense of the Phoenix Suns, who do run a lot of off-ball screens, who have a lot of motion, and KD isn't just isolating solo dolo like that, like he was on the Brooklyn Nets. He actually has a functional offense now, and he gets the ball in his spots, and he's been cooking. And so what Boston Celtics showed us last season, you got to be physical with KD. Devin Booker has shown that physicality can hurt him. Maybe you can fatigue him later in the series and make it go 6-7 games and pull it out. And so there is a chance, but essentially Kawhi got to outplay KD by far. And if he can't, this is going to be Suns in 5. And I don't think he can do that because of the pressure that he will have on offense and defense and not having a secondary scorer. Now, Westbrook being a rim pressure, the only guy that really puts a lot of rim pressure on the team. Norman Powell does that off the bench, but you're talking about the starters. Kawhi sadly does not do that anymore, bro. He doesn't take it to the rim as much. He's a pull-up jumper type of dude, and he's very efficient at that, one of the best in the world at that. But can you rely on that for a whole 7-game series when a team can scheme against not allowing you to get to your spots and making you a playmaker out of that mid-range if you can't get to that every single time? And then can Westbrook be that guy that put the pressure on the rim and be that secondary scorer that can give you 25? And if I was to give my X factor, it is Norman Powell, man. Norman Powell got to give you 20 a game this series. And I don't know that there's too many guys that have to elevate their play to a level that they haven't shown in the regular season. And I don't think they can do that, man. That's just me, though.
All right, fantastic breakdown, my man. And now we got our last person, Bruce, and I'm gonna respond to each and every one of y'all, man, with y'all soliloquy, man. Appreciate y'all. My man, Bruce, my right hand man. What's good, brother?
Hey, good morning, everyone. Good morning, BJ.
Morning, brother.
Or good afternoon, Young Africa.
What's happening, my brother Bruce? How are you, man?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm not gonna do all those sermons or all those talks. I was just gonna say that Clippers have to win. That's it. You have to win game 1. You know, there's a lot of Clippers hate. You know, Young Africa wants Clippers to lose. Melo wants.
Yo, where was my Clipper hate? Man, I was trying to break it down. Go ahead.
I mean, you said the Suns in 5. So
is that Clipper hate? Okay, go ahead, Bruce.
Really? Come on, man. The Suns have no bench, man. No bench. And I hear Torrey Craig is Kawhi stopper, but we'll see.
Ooh, I don't know about
We'll
that.
see.
But okay.
I mean, Torrey Craig is Steph Curry now. He's gonna shoot 40%. So
what you're saying? Clippers in 7, Bruce, or what you're saying?
No, Clippers in 6.
Okay.
Man, y'all beat our third string by 4 points the other night, Bruce.
Okay, Clippers will win game 1, and then all the KD fans who are Suns fans now gonna be like, 40. What is it? 55, 40, 90. It's gonna be 30, 30, 90.
Yeah, he might shoot 60, 60, 100 versus y'all.
Okay, so appreciate you, my man, Bruce. So I'm gonna hit Sturdy real quick first. All right, so Sturdy, you said you got the Suns in how many games?
I got Suns in competitive 6.
Okay. Now I knew you would actually have a great breakdown. Like, so I appreciate you not saying the Clippers are gonna get swept or nothing crazy like that. So, and you're saying because of the Suns' offensive weapons and also their scheming, their pretty much their offensive play is what's gonna carry them over this series.
Simplistically, it's really the execution. Like, believe it or not, y'all actually have the personnel and the coach to win this series. It's just the problem is y'all haven't proven to have consistent execution, especially defensively. I'm starting to hear a lot of people say KD got swept by the Celtics. I'm like, first of all, y'all not the Celtics. Y'all have not shown any level or any consistency to be that intense and that consistent defensively what the Celtics showed with Ime. Don't do that to yourselves. Y'all do have the personnel to do that, but y'all do not have the execution to form that. That's number one. Number two, it's more so, like I said, to simplify, BJ, like I said, the Suns are more consistent with their offense. That's why I got them winning, because you guys aren't. You get with PG out now. Y'all have 1 or 2 games to figure out y'all offensive scheme that's going to work for y'all. And on top of that, like I mentioned before, y'all defensive scheme and execution is not consistent enough to exploit the mismatches of the Suns. Y'all naturally, you go ahead, my man. Go ahead.
No, I agree with you, and this is why I say he's been the problem all year. Yeah, because he's the person responsible. Because A30 just said it. If you got the personnel, you got all the pieces inside your toolbox. Why aren't you fixing the problem?
Exactly.
That's number one. So that means to me that the Clippers can do, because I've seen them play Boston both times. They beat the hell out of Boston in LA this year, and then in Boston they had a chance to win that game down the stretch, but they lost it. So when I look at Boston, the Clippers, and that's why I bring up that Spain pick and roll, they're the only 2 teams with the personnel to actually guard that defense, that offense that Phoenix has. So would you agree with that, Sturdy?
They're the only team what?
That Boston and the Clippers are the only 2 teams in the league that have the personnel to guard Phoenix's offense on that Spain pick and roll.
Them and a couple other teams, I'll give you that.
Okay, so if you add the Clippers, so they have the ability to do what Boston just did. So why haven't they done it? And I've been very consistent about this. I said Ty Lue, for whatever reason, does not put the right lineups in. He does not put Robert. He has not been playing Robert Covington enough. He hasn't been playing Terrence Mann enough. They've been doing the whole load management with Kawhi and Paul George, has been messing up our consistency. But when you choose it, you'd be like, damn, there'd be points of the season like, damn, the Clippers look like they on point. Beat the Celtics by 20-something points, but then, okay, well, they'll throw a series away, they'll throw games away because they're not choosing to put their hope on a team early and often. And that's been the Clippers' problem. It's never been their team. It's been the fact they keep shooting themselves in their own foot. We saw this in 2021. They get down 0-2 to a Dallas Mavericks team they should have never gotten down 0-2 to. And then you turn around the next 4 games, they beat the Mavericks by damn near 20 in both games 3 and 4. You saw that against the Utah Jazz. They go down 0-2. They come back and win that series without Kawhi Leonard even being present. That was the number 1 team in the Western Conference. They go against the Phoenix Suns, that same Phoenix Suns team that beat them, they're about to go up against outside of KD. They were down 0-2. They lost both those games by nearly like 2 points each. And they were fully healthy.
BJ, remember, Kawhi had to tell Ty Lue, hey, man, I got Luka, man. This shit you doing ain't no good. Remember?
Exactly. I love Ty Lue, but I hate him at the same time because he makes things too difficult. You have the personnel, you have the tools in your toolbox. And this is why I say the Clippers are shooting themselves in their own foot. It's not that difficult. Defense is not a very complex thing to do. These are pros. These guys know how to talk on defense, communicate on defense. But if you got guys like Marcus Morris out there, you got guys like at times Zubac getting killed in the pick and roll, and you choose to keep them in, you're killing our team. So it's not I believe Ty Lue's going to make the right adjustments in the playoffs. Just I think Monty Williams is not as great when it comes to adjustments, and that's going to play into Clippers' favor. But this is why I say it won't be a surprise if the Clippers win one or not both these games in Phoenix without PG, because they have the team to beat the Suns. It's just the fact, they have an answer for pretty much everything. You want to have KD. I believe Nicholas Batum can affect KD because KD wants to just shoot over you. I believe that if you got Devin Booker, you can put Terrence Mann or Kawhi Leonard on Devin Booker. I believe that Russell Westbrook, because people want to bring up turnovers like Melo, Chris Paul at the end of the day is going to have to do both ends. He's going to have to guard. So who's going to be forcing Westbrook to make these turnovers? Because the damn sure ain't going to be Chris Paul. So if you say he's just going to turn the ball up and that's who he is. And also I want to bring something else up. Westbrook averages 23 points per game, 7 assists. And this is why I look at matchups. I don't look at the entire year. Oh, this team scored at this offense rating, this defensive rating. I look at who they match up against, because that's who they're going to be playing against. Westbrook averages 23 points and 7 assists against the Phoenix Suns. So you're not good. So I've asked y'all a question. I think Westbrook could average 20 points in this series if he really wanted to. But I don't think he's going to be going for 20. I think he's going to be killing the Suns' defense with his playmaking and attacking the basket because they have no one to deal with him. So that's going to be that's another weapon. And then I'd like going back to what Get My Shine On was saying. The Suns, the Clippers have a lot of options to throw at the Suns. They have options to throw at Kevin Durant. They have options to throw at Devin Booker. Who do you have to throw at Kawhi Leonard and when Paul George comes back?
Y'all got names. Y'all have names.
No, we have options.
So why y'all rank 18th in defense this year then?
Did you not hear what I said, Melo? Do you know how many times the team has missed? They have not been consistent.
Don't matter, bro.
It do matter. You want to go by narratives, bro. You want to go by narrative. You don't want to go by actually what's going on.
Of the shit, bro. Stop acting.
It is a part of it, but make sure you include that. Make sure you include that when you speak about why they 18th in defense. Don't sit up here and say, "Oh, they 18th in defense and that's it." No, nigga, tell context why.
Clean, give up 200 points to the Kings, bro. Stop.
You're not the Kings. First of all, y'all not the Kings, and that's another thing. That's better that they played the Suns and the Kings because the Kings actually have a set offense that would actually be a problem we have to deal with. The Suns play exactly like the Clippers for the most part. Mid-range shots, but they don't shoot the 3-ball very well. Y'all gave up 3 of y'all prime 3-point shooters and defense to get one guy.
Hey, how many games Jay Crowder played for the Suns this year?
He played a full season last year, and he got to the Western Conference. You're not going to dictate the question, nigga. Jay Crowder led that team to the finals and went to the Western Conference semifinals last year. You guys played 8 games with Kevin Durant, and not one of those teams were playoff teams.
Yeah, but some of them teams beat y'all though.
Yeah, they did. Same thing with Denver Nuggets. Y'all beat them by 6 points. Their bench squad.
We play down to the bench
squad.
We do that. We play down to the bones,
nigga.
Well, BJ.
You think that's gonna mean something?
Hold on, BJ. Let's stick with the series. Once again, Ty Lue is the main reason why this series is going to be competitive. I told you before. Just like the hardest thing to develop in any professional organized sports and on a team is defense continuity. The best way to do that is health. If you want to blame the inconsistency of your defense, don't blame Ty Lue. Blame the Clippers medical staff and front office, which you have done. They're the reason why y'all defense isn't as sharp as it's supposed to be. It's due to that. That's number one. Number two.
So T-Man not starting, which is our best POA defender. So him not starting and playing 40 minutes, that's not on Ty Lue.
I can't agree with that, Sturdy. I can't. Hold on.
About to answer his question.
Go ahead, Sturdy.
To answer his question, and you were saying this in the chat, bro. The Clippers cannot allow T-Man to play 38 plus minutes, bro, because of the amount of guards y'all got. Y'all have multiple guards, especially y'all gonna need those guards. The fact that PG is gone. So the more T-Man plays, the less minutes for Norman Powell, the less minutes for Gordon, the less minutes for Westbrook. You have to balance that out. You can't just give one of those guards majority of those minutes. That's insane. Now,
that's what Booker's gonna do. Booker gonna play 40, and that's what T-Man needs to do.
No, Booker's the star player of the team. T-Man is not even that. And like I said, you have depth for a reason. Use it. Why would you limit your depth? We're playing majority minutes with one guard. We got 4 in the rotation. There's so many minutes.
All you got to do is bring in Powell and Gordon and let them use up minutes. Let's play basic math.
Let's play basic math. You give let's go by your logic. You give T-Man 38 minutes. How many minutes are going to Westbrook? How many minutes going to Norman Powell? And how many minutes are going to Eric Gordon? Go.
See, that's just it. But this is the problem, Sturdy. That's not even what he was doing. Sturdy. This is what he wasn't even doing that, bro. This is why I blame Ty Lue. And yes, you do have a point. The medical staff has a point, but he also works with them too. They were playing, bro. He was playing Terrence Mann at some point 5 minutes, 6 minutes. This is our best point of attacker defensive. It's like, bro, Ty Lue has done this even when they're healthy. He'll have a series, like I just mentioned in 2021, have them down against a team they had no business being down to. It's not just the medical staff keeping them. No, it's part of him overthinking certain things and not using his depth enough and not spreading the minutes around easily. Playing Marcus Morris and Reggie Jackson over minutes is a big reason why the Clippers have lost so many games. It's not just the medical staff, bro. I've been watching this dude all year. I gave him credit in the playoffs in 2021, but I was like, bro, like you do make a lot of dumb mistakes. And shout out to Tuning Sports, who's a Cavs fan. He said, yeah, Ty Lue, this is how he works. Throughout the season, he's going to do a lot of bonehead shit. But when it comes to the playoffs, you're going to actually love what he does. But it shouldn't be that, bro. If you're an elite coach, why not you have the team to do it? Why are you making stuff so hard? Why are you overthinking your lineups?
Hey, BJ, Sturdy, let me ask you this. So if T-Man has Booker shooting 10 for 28 every night, don't you think we don't need as much help from the other guys?
No, what I'm saying to you, and I'm not saying you don't put T-Man on Booker, and I'm not saying you don't match some of his minutes with some of the lineups the Suns got. What I'm simply telling you is it is going to be a regressive and more so a negative than a positive if you play Terrence Mann 38 plus minutes.
How's that if Booker's struggling every night and we could put more focus on KD than what y'all ain't got no other options that we got to worry about.
Number one, the way I, and this is just assumption, and this is what they should do. The Clippers are going to, because y'all can't double both KD and Booker, so they're going to prioritize doubling Booker because he's the lesser playmaker, right? When you do that, that means you're giving KD more isolation chances to score. I believe wherever Kawhi is going to produce, KD's going to match. That means, like I said, for your X factor, Ty Lue's going to have to balance out the minutes and rotations of the guards. The guards are going to dictate the success of the Clippers. So if you limit those guards' output when you have them do majority of the bench, when you have one of those guards playing 40 minutes, especially a guard that's not even a star player on your team.
All right, so check this out. I'm gonna ask you again. If Booker is struggling every night because T-Man is matching him and don't need all these double, y'all are camouflaging the effect. If a man is 10 for 28, why are we doubling that dude? We're not gonna double him. We don't have to double him if T-Man.
What makes you think Terrence Mann going to lock up Devin Booker for the whole series, bro?
He wants me to acknowledge this hypothetical. So on this hypothetical, what's going to happen is they're going to start running more action. That's why BJ said it before. The way the Suns won before, the guy who's guarding Devin Booker is not going to be in an isolation bull crap. You're going to run around screens. You're going to come up pin downs. That's a tiring thing. So now, even if Terrence Mann is doing a great job defending Booker for a game, that's less energy he has for offense. And since if we go by your logic and say, okay, let's match his minutes with Booker, that's less minutes for Norman Powell, Eric Gordon to have an effect offensively, which y'all do need because last time I checked, a healthy PG is giving you at least 24 to 27 a night. You got to supplement that.
Yeah, we got scores to supplement that. I mean, we got people like Gordon to get 10 to 15. Gordon gets points off shooting those threes, and it don't have to be a lot. Zubac can get anywhere from 12 to 20 and 20. This man's had a 30 and 20 game. So we have the points
That
can
man,
come from a
he's
lot
not
of
gonna.
different points.
He's not gonna have a
But
20 game.
here's the thing: if Booker is struggling, whatever KD's doing is a wash, and then some, because not only is Kawhi gonna match him offensively, Kawhi is gonna outplay on the other end as well. So that's when I say a wash, when it's coming from me and I say a wash, I'm saying offensively. If you talking basketball player for player, Kawhi is the better player, because last time I checked, you got to add the other end into a basketball. And to say, and if you want to go by, well, what was the regular season at? All right, bro.
I ain't saying nothing about regular season.
Kawhi played on minutes restrictions for the longest time. PG played on minutes restrictions. So the defensive rating stuff, like BJ said, goes thrown out the window as far as the regular season. Because even when the guys played, there was games, bro, they wasn't playing for like 20 minutes on minutes restrictions. So what do you think our defensive rate is doing? It started in the top 5 and went straight to the bottom. And it also go back to what BJ said, it has something to do with playing Marcus Morris too much. When Rocco is in there, bro, the game changes instantly. Even if he don't get a steal, he's knocking the ball out of bounds. He's tipping the ball. He's making somebody fumble the ball. And he actually hit some threes. There was one game, that man hit like 7-8 threes. Something like that. Is that going to happen every night? No. Is Zubac going to score 30 every night? No. Is Gordon going to score 20 every night? No. But the problem is they're all going to pitch in from all different angles, with PG and without PG. And that T-Man can get you 20 or 30. And just cause Booker is wearing.
Hey, bro, I listen to you, bro. And hold on. Because your answer right now is showing you how much you need to beat the Suns, right? Your answer itself is saying that most likely you're not going to, because if you need all of that, Terrence Mann to drop 30, Zubac to get a 20-20 game, and Devin Booker, hold on, let me finish though, and Devin Booker to struggle the whole series, that tells you that you need everything to go right, and you need things for the Suns to go wrong, in which historically you haven't seen Devin Booker just get locked up for a whole series like that and not be productive. And so your answer itself is showing you that it's not likely, but it can happen. It can happen if everything goes right. And then for the Suns, everything goes wrong. Yeah, it can happen. It can happen. Go ahead.
So let me ask you this. So just because T-Man getting tired, Booker ain't gonna get tired of being foul trouble when he got to deal with Westbrook on the other end. Chris Paul ain't gonna be tired on the other end.
These scenarios are crazy right now.
A lot of y'all's philosophies are focused on one end of the basketball court. Y'all not bringing the ball back across that court and say, well, damn, we're gonna get tired over here.
For seasons now, bro. For seasons, he's been cooking the NBA at elite level. So I can only expect him to at least elevate or keep his level of play. And if everybody keeps their level of play on the Suns, that's what they. Hey, see what the Suns got to do? They just got to do what they've been doing, and they will win, bro. Just do what they've been doing, and they will win. Y'all need everything to go right on top of elevation from certain players. Let me finish though. Hey, certain players got to on the Clippers. Certain players got to elevate their game to levels that we have not seen in the regular season. And you're saying in your own answer that it hasn't, that it can't really get done unless amazing miracles happen.
That don't mean nothing.
Like Terrence Mann dropping 30 balls on the Phoenix Suns. It's kind of crazy.
Brother, what's your name so I can address you properly?
Africa.
No, not Africa. With the car. He's the only dude on there with a car, with his logo.
Oh, get my sign on.
All right, so bro, I answered your question. You still didn't answer my question. If Terrence Mann,
go back to it.
Is Terrence Mann is matching Devin Booker's minutes, because Devin Booker gonna play at least 30 minutes a game. Period. You can book that.
Probably 40.
If Terrence Mann is playing 38 minutes, and Westbrook is starting, that means he's gonna play a minimum of 24 minutes. How many minutes are the remaining guards going to get? How many minutes is Norman Powell going to get? How many minutes is Eric Gordon going to get? How many minutes is you just mentioned the guy, I forgot his dude's name. Rocco is going to get. How many minutes are they going to get if Terrence Mann getting 40 plus nearly 40 minutes a game?
All right, let me ask you a question.
You didn't.
All right, let me ask you a question. All right. You realize there's 5 people on the court, right? The Suns do go small, and they like to go small. So when y'all go small, our guards are going to be on the court. And we're going to go small sometimes without y'all even going small. So our guards are going to be on the court. Rocco plays 3, 4, and 5, not 1 and 2. So he's going to be on the court for somebody else. Batum's going to be on the court. Like, bro, it's not just a swap in to 1 and 2 for us, bro. We actually run T-Man at the power forward. We had this man guarding down LeBron James the other day. Like we don't have to bring out T-Man and Westbrook. Again, if Booker's in foul trouble, he goes out the game. There's goes more minutes for the other guards.
What are these scenarios we're doing, bro?
So I noticed you answered my question. So let me help you out. I noticed you didn't answer my question. Let me help you out. BJ.
I just answered your question.
No, you didn't. You literally didn't.
Yes, I did. We don't just swap in one and two.
Hey, 30. In the playoffs, it's an 8-man rotation, 30. It's an 8-man rotation.
Exactly. 8-man rotation. And we play 5 small sometimes, bro. Like, I answered your question, point blank.
No, you didn't. So how many minutes Norman Powell going to get again? If Terrence Mann playing 40 minutes, how many minutes is he going to get again?
He's not going to get. Hold on. Let me.
Don't dictate off one T-man. Neither does Gordon. That's what I'm telling you. We put different people on the court, different lineups on the court at all times. We don't just dictate off what T-man doing. And again, if Westbrook is cooking CP and Booker on the other end and get them in foul trouble, Booker goes off the court, then T-man can go off the court.
Trouble we're talking about,
so hold on.
Y'all act like Westbrook ain't going to post these boys up, bro.
So BJ, he's not going to answer my question. So BJ, I just want.
I answered your question. You didn't like the answer.
No, you didn't answer the question. Literally.
Yes, I did. Our minutes don't dictate off one player, bro. We put in different lineups. Sometimes that tie Lue to our own flaw. We're seeing 3 or 4 guards at one time.
BJ, can you please explain to this man, especially in the playoffs when you're only going 8 to 9 deep at most? There's a certain limit of minutes for everybody. The Clippers are 2 to 3 deep at every position.
Yeah. Well,
so if you have, can you explain to this guy the repercussions of playing really Terrence Mann 40 minutes a game?
Right. It's overloading. I'm not with Terrence Mann playing 40, and I don't think we need him to play 40. Because like I tried to say, you're not going to have T-Man on Booker the whole game. You don't need that. You have Kawhi Leonard there. There's no point of putting Booker on T-Man on Booker. My emphasis is to make sure Booker and CP get no rest. Let KD do what he want to do, because I got Kawhi on the other side going to do what he want to do. They have no one. Again, I'm gonna put it very clearly. The Suns have no one to put on Kawhi.
That's not what the numbers say.
I don't care what the numbers say, bro. I want you to come, and you're gonna keep saying dumb shit like that. You know good and well they got nobody for Kawhi. Torrey Greg and Don Shakougi are not matched up with no Kawhi Leonard. Hey, but you know what, Melo? Like I said, in a couple of days when you see Kawhi averaging 30 points off of 88% free throw shooting and 57 from the field, and also, I want to bring this up too, because Melo gonna keep trolling. But at the end of the day, Sturdy, I agree with Sturdy on this. I don't want to put Terrence Mann out there to have to deal with Booker the whole game, because they don't need to. They don't need to. The Clippers have way too many weapons to be able to throw at Devin Booker and Kevin Durant.
That's true. So BJ, what makes you think that Kawhi gonna play 1-on-1 though? When you talk about Kogi, what makes you think that Suns gonna let Kawhi play 1-on-1?
They've been doing. They have their defense is very, very. Who are you gonna have to double off of? And first of all, because if you try to double Kawhi. If you have to, bro, that's bad. He's averaging 23 points per game. I don't care how he scores his points. If you averaging 23 points per game against this team, bro, you're not going to just let him to shoot. How does he get 23 points per game if he can score?
23, BJ, Kawhi, 23 points a game ain't going to be enough. That's the point. If I can minimize Kawhi's numbers, he can get 25. It ain't going to be enough. You're not
minimizing Kawhi's. That's what I'm trying to tell you, bro. They're not going to do anything with Kawhi. They're not. You got Norman Powell right there. You got shooters. You got Robert Covington, Nicholas Batum. You're not going. They have too many offensive weapons where Phoenix are not going to be able to do all that doubling. They're not going to do. They're not going to do it.
Torrey Craig guarding Kawhi straight up. Nigga ain't worried about that. Come on, man.
So let me get to Young Africa's point real quick. So Young Africa said something. He said he thinks it's going to be the Suns in 5, and you said because of why?
Essentially their offense, BJ, and the fact that the offense of the Suns is so great that you cannot essentially minimize all three of their guys, CP3, KD, and Devin Booker. And so my question was, where is the offense going to come when Kawhi, especially when Kawhi can get his, if they try to go 1-on-1 with Kawhi, I agree. He's going to get his 30, 35, no doubt. If you go 1-on-1 with Kawhi, they know one that's really going to stop him. That's why team defense, trapping him, doubling him at times if he gets to his spot is necessary. But if let's say they go 1-on-1, right, and do something stupid in the first game, when he goes off the court, where's the offense going to come from? And do you have enough offense to beat the Phoenix Suns? Which essentially you got to drop 110. You got to drop at least 110 points to beat them, right? And so even if Kawhi gives you 30, 35, you still need another 75 points. Where's it going to come from, BJ?
You got Russell. Hold on. You got Russell Westbrook, who's going to get you 15 to 20 points in that series, and he's going to give you 7, 8 assists. So again, when I ask people, say the Clippers have only West. Who is the Suns playmaker outside of Chris Paul and Campaign?
Hey,
Kevin Durant can play make as well. Kevin Durant can play.
But hold on. How much more? How much? So KD can run the point guard position and orchestrate the offense.
No, you're saying something different.
Okay, no, I didn't ask that. I asked no, because this is another thing. If we're gonna do this, let's do it both ways. KD, if he was an elite playmaker, he wouldn't have looked at how he looked against the Celtics last year.
I didn't say elite. Devin Booker,
but he's an average. I saw Kevin Durant when he had the responsibility of being the point guard last year. Even you say the Celtics had the defense they had. When they ISO Kevin Durant on the top of the key, he was getting the ball stripped, getting the ball taken. Season, right? He was getting no. He's not an elite playmaker. He's an average playmaker.
BJ, who led?
He's
he's not. He's you, BJ. Hold on. The offense with the Clipper offense, BJ. The
hold on.
Offense, don't worry about that. I'm talking about the Clippers offense.
Position in assists last year.
Bro, assist based off of what you're talking about would have translated against the Boston Celtics. He's not an elite playmaker, okay? He's not. He's a very average playmaker. He's an average playmaker, bro. It wasn't for Adam. He had situations where Tatum was just guarding, bro. He wasn't scared to put the ball on the floor.
When you talk about the Phoenix Suns offense, CP3 is still one of the best pick and roll playmakers in the NBA, and the numbers back that up, right? And
I agree.
They got a great playmaker in the pick and roll in CP3. So when I ask you about the Clippers offense, what's the answer for that? Because you told me 25 points from Westbrook, that's still only 60 points, man. Where the other 60, 55 gonna come from?
You got 20 points from Norman Powell. Let me pull up this right now. Because you can't really just go by specific numbers. This is why I say the Clippers, it's very hard to measure them off because they have so many different things you can throw at them. They got guys that can give you 15, 20 points. I've seen it throughout the whole season. You got Eric Gordon, he's had 20-point games. You had Norman Powell that made 20-point games. You have, and I'm actually interested, you have Marcus Morris, who plays the Suns, destroys their whole defense, who's had 20-point games. So they got 4 or 5 different players who can give you 20 points each. So it's going to be a collective unit. It's not going to be this specific person it's not going to be a specific person every single night. You guys got to look at it like the Clippers are not your average team. They have different weapons on this team that they can have that can go off at any point in time.
Do you see my point, though, that how the Phoenix Suns know where their points are coming from every single game, but the Clippers got to have a certain guy step up every time and elevate their play to levels that they haven't done in the regular season? Like that's right to say, right?
But it just hasn't been a regular season. I've seen Marcus Morris in the playoffs do it. I've seen Norman Powell do it. I've seen Russell Westbrook. They have 4 guys who are proven to give you, and you got Eric Gordon as well. So it's not like
can you bank on that? Like every game, like you need a that's my question.
Every game,
I say no, but all right.
Every game, one of those guys will go off and make up for the scoring load that PJ's not there.
Exactly.
And also the defense.
Like one game, T-Man got 40. It comes from everywhere, bro.
That one game we're still talking about.
It don't matter. It don't matter. As long as it's one game, it's one W. That's all.
He ain't scored 40 cents.
You don't need 4 W's. You don't need 4 W's. That's all you need.
We don't need T-Man to score. Like I said, T-Man's responsibility is going to be primarily playing defense on either CP or Devin Booker. One of those guys going to have to work on offense. If you got T-Man playing Chris Paul or Devin, one of those guys are going to have to work on offense. We saw it last year with Chris Paul when he played the Pelicans. He struggled outside that game 6 when they had Jose Alvarado guarding him. But now you have a guy who's 6'5" hounding you full court. Also, I want to bring this up as well. This whole Kawhi and KD matchup. Now, I know this whole with Melo saying that KD is the superior player.
Fuck no.
And all this. You got people say Kawhi is. This is how I look at this matchup. When they both were in the playoffs in 2021, KD shot 34. He had 34 points per game off at 40% from the 3 and then 87 from the line. Kawhi shot 30% from the field, 57 from the field, 30 points per game, and 88% from the line. So very similar numbers, but here's the difference. That's why I also got to get my Sean credit. Y'all only focusing on one side of the floor.
Exactly.
You're not focusing on the defensive side of the floor. You're not looking at the impact he draws. That's why I say that Kawhi, I've seen more times than not. You guys can keep saying he's not the same defender. I don't know where that's coming from. I'm not knowing where that's coming from.
Actually, BJ, I have to say this, bro.
You're
It's
not
more
better than
so
Durant on
you're
defense.
not. You're actually undermining what KD did defensively this year.
Facts.
Yes, he's not an elite point attack defender, but he did increase his rim protection this year. He did increase his communication, especially on the back line this year. He did increase his defensive awareness and recognition within pick and roll situations. All those things show up on film. You got to give just as much you give credit to Kawhi's improvement. You also got to give KD improvement on his defense.
I give him improvement for that, bro. But at the end of the day, let's just be honest. He's nowhere near the defender Kawhi
Yes,
is.
he is. This year, yes, he is.
Bro, Melo, stop. Melo, you're just a fanboy. Hey, hold on. Melo, if you talking about 1 year out of fucking 17 years he's been in the league, man, stop it. This dude's 34 years old. He's not been. Hold on, and Sturdy, I'm glad you brought it up. You said rim protector. You said rim protector. Not a great point of attack, and that's the difference. He doesn't have the lateral quickness to be able to stay with guys like he was going to be in front. He can't. He has to stay by the rim for a reason because he doesn't have the lateral quickness. Also, I want to bring the only thing I also want to bring up too. The Brooklyn Nets that he was playing with played actual meta defense in the Phoenix Suns. So when you have a team surrounding you with other good defenders, yeah, it's going to motivate you to play defense. That's why Melo keeps bringing up that dumbass comparison saying this year. Yeah, nigga, because you had defenders around you to play defense. Now let's see when you have to be it's a difference between having a good team defense, nigga, and having you be the primary guy on defensive end. Now let's see Kevin Durant do that throughout a whole series, be the primary defensive player. Josh Okogie, that's why you depend on Josh Okogie and Torrey Craig to guard Kawhi.
5 blocks for the Suns.
Hey, I guarantee you, Melo, you're not putting him on Kawhi Leonard since he's such a great defender.
I guarantee you KD outplay Kawhi. I guarantee that.
Okay, we're gonna see that. We're gonna see that in this series. Because here's the thing. Here's one thing that you gotta remember. He's focused on strictly on offense. On defense.
That's what you think. That's not what the numbers
say. That's what you think. That's what you think, nigga. All you go by.
Regular season numbers is irrelevant, bro. Everybody,
all you do is rock KD's dick, bro.
BJ, like I said earlier, bro. It don't matter. Honestly, bro, last year don't matter. Years don't matter. We talking about just what the fuck is going to happen starting Sunday, all right? What matters, I'm be honest with you. No matter who you think is better, their impact
not better than no damn.
Period. No matter who you think is better, their impact is going to cancel each other out. I would not be surprised if both KD and Kawhi average 30 in this series.
Oh, they both gonna do that. I never would say they would.
The point is, like I said, BJ, you know this, it's going to come down to the team's execution, specifically the other guys. The guards for the Clippers have to be consistent in their production offensively. And they have to be disciplined on defense as well. They cannot afford to get in foul trouble. Not their guards. And it's the same thing. It's similar with the Suns with their interior presence. That's why I'm saying y'all. I think both sides not getting enough credit for how competitive this series is going to be. That's my opinion.
Do you think Russell?
I said it's gonna be a long series.
Would you say how consistent do you feel since we talking about this year? Russ, Norm, and Eric Gordon have been for the Clippers.
Actually, though they've been the most consistent guards. Period. That's why I said they're the X factors, BJ. Because Suns, they're not dumb. They're going to double Kawhi in multiple stretches. So when the ball, and you know this as a point guard, when that ball swings to the weak side, what are you going to do? 6 seconds left on the shot clock. You get the ball, Eric Gordon on the wing. How are you going to optimize the possession? How are you going to optimize the possession? Terrence
you got guys on the corner. You guys, Eric Gordon, Marcus Morris, Nicholas Batum, Robert Covington are all great.
We'll talk. BJ, Ty Lue should not play this nigga in this series.
No. He's already said he's gonna play him. I don't know how many minutes he's gonna play him. I'm saying he's gonna use him. Listen, bro. I'm looking towards me. I'm saying you said corner shooting. You said corner shooting. They have corner shooting.
I say weak side.
Weak side. Yeah, they have the shooters to space the floor out. That's why Russell Westbrook looks the way he looks on this team, because you got the shooters. Shooters are not the problem with the Clippers. Their
Hey,
problem
Gordon
is
gets to the rim too, easy.
their problem. This is what their problem is, bro. Again, I'm gonna say it again. Ty Lue, if he goes and starts getting in his own head, putting the wrong players in at the wrong time, you're gonna start seeing the Suns get more of a hype. If the Clippers play the team, they play their actual right guys at the right situations, I will not be surprised if they take these first 2 games. I really would not.
I got a question for you, BJ. If what you say is true, then it's going to be close games in the fourth quarter, right? And we know in the playoffs the pace slows down; it becomes a half-court offense, and shot creation is the most valuable thing on offense. And when teams know your schemes, they know what you're about to do. Individual shot creation, and they got Kevin Durant, one of the best ISO individual shot creators in the NBA. They got Devin Booker, they got CP3. So if they do double Kawhi and they do track Kawhi, especially in fourth quarters, do you have enough shot creation to get buckets in the fourth quarter?
Yes.
So who are the shot creators on the Clippers?
Westbrook, Norman Powell, Kawhi, Eric Gordon.
Eric Gordon, you putting Eric Gordon on that list, bro? Really?
Bro, Eric Gordon's a good point. Bro, hold on. No, I'm being serious. If you're gonna put guys like Cameron Payne on that list, and you're gonna put guys like
I didn't put Cameron Payne. I put CP3, Devin Booker.
So let me ask who are they shot creators outside of CP3, Devin Booker, Kevin Durant?
Yeah, first off, ain't not many teams in the NBA have 3 elite shot creators. So
no, that's not what I asked you. You asked me. I named 3 guys. You don't need. This is another thing. You don't need a whole bunch of one thing to get the job done. I don't need to have all these shot creators, I only need 2 specific playmakers on the court to actually get the job. I don't need 3-4 different options. And that's the thing with the Clippers they have. This is the thing with the Clippers they have. They have a little bit of everything. They got the playmaking, they got the shot creators, they got the star power, they got the defense, they got the length, they got the wings. Something that the Phoenix Suns don't have is that's another thing. They don't have the length that the Clippers have, especially at the forward position.
If I'm the Suns,
so they have a little bit of everything.
I'm living with Westbrook shot creation. Norman Powell, I agree, he can create his own shot, but I don't know if he's that reliable on a consistent basis. And Kawhi Leonard, I'm not letting him shot create one-on-one in the fourth quarter. And so that's
you're gonna double everybody. You're gonna know, but Westbrook, I'm living with
shot creation. You're gonna take it to the rim, or you're gonna pull up for the mid-range, and I'm clapping my hands saying good defense.
Westbrook, no. That's the thing. We can't keep using that with Westbrook. You gotta give sturdy. We gotta give credit, right? Has Westbrook been knocking down his mid-range shots? And also, I've made this point early. I've been saying this. I said this when we first got him too. I said he's gonna start pulling up on that mid-range, and he has been doing it. Hey, Africa, that game against your Lakers, he hit 3 shots in a row, and LeBron's face on that pull-up shot. So I don't want to keep hearing about. I don't keep hearing. I don't know. It's been a whole. No. It's been since he's been with this team. I've been watching him close. He has not been just airballing shots and hitting the backboard. That's not the basically of the situation, my nigga. You guys, y'all hold this dude to standards that are unrealistic. He got to make every shot for y'all to give him any type of credit. He's not out there breaking shots. Well, how is he shooting 40? Hold on, how is he shooting 49% from the field if he's just sitting up there airballing bricking shots?
BJ, I said,
why has he got to pull up? Who is he worried about at the rim? Why has he got to pull up? And if Aiden helps, Dubois is cleaning that up.
Percentage at the rim in the league.
BJ, I said, I won't be surprised. I do expect Westbrook to have a good series. That's not the X factor, bro. If Ty Lue played twin at least 18 minutes per game in the series, it's a wrap. No, real talk, BJ.
I agree. No, I agree.
He cannot play this series. He cannot play this series.
So I think the X factor in this series is not even a player. I think he's the X factor. He's the X factor. It ain't even our team, bro. I swear on everybody. It's this dude. He's the X factor. I'm telling you, Sturdy just said it. And let me ask you, Sturdy, do you think if Ty Lue coaches this series, would you be surprised if the Clippers win?
I would be surprised, primarily because due to the circumstances y'all were facing all year and leading to this point, it will be extremely impressive for the Clippers to execute a consistent defensive game plan that will get y'all past one of the best offenses in the league. That would be very surprised and impressive, especially
But isn't it just what that's okay? So what is? Let me ask you this question. Let me just ask the pound a question. What scheme do you need to run to actually know how to communicate on defense? It's very simple. If I have the long wings and length to actually be able to talk and communicate and say backside screen, double screen, what is so hard about that? What practice time do you need to talk and communicate?
BJ,
What do you really need?
You need to ask the Clippers that, because that's the main thing that's been inconsistent with them defensively. Y'all already switch everything scheme defense. The number way to optimize that type of defense is communication, especially your back line. That's the only reason why y'all being cooked up to this point for inconsistent. Y'all been up and down because y'all communication ain't on point.
But why?
That's players. That's not coaches. That's players. You and I both know communication is a simple, fundamental part of defense. If anything, that's the most effort part of defense is communication. So if you don't have your guys talking, the coach can't do nothing about that.
That comes with effort. Effort is communicating. That's part of effort.
But again, that's my thing though, bro. If you we all agree the Clippers have the personnel to do it. They have long wings, and they've shown spurts throughout the season. So why is it that they, like you just said, how hard is it to talk? Why are they choosing? Why is it they're choosing? Is it because they've dealt with low management? Have they dealt with they just don't buy into what Ty Lue is saying at certain times? Have they gotten frustrated with hearing this? Something in that locker room or something that was not clicking while these are professionals. These are guys who've been in the league for years.
I'm be straightforward with you. I'm really gonna quote Paul George on one of those recent podcasts. He talked highly of Ty Lue, and in particular his adjustments and how he approaches the game in the playoffs. He literally described the main difference between regular season Ty Lue and postseason Ty Lue. At the end of the day, it don't matter, bro. It don't matter how many schemes and different rotations the coach can put you out there. If Ty Lue's on point with his rotations, it's not going to matter if the Clippers don't execute.
Exactly.
Execution is not on the coach. It's on the player.
Hey, Sturdy, that's exactly why I said regular season, bro. You can't even regular season is totally different, bro. What goes on in the regular season is not what you expect to go on in the postseason. If that's the case, then you would just cancel the playoffs and hand the damn championship to the number one seed.
No.
The regular season is irrelevant. We should expect to see both teams step up.
Season is not irrelevant. Niggas need to stop saying that. The reason why it is relevant is for you to develop good habits as a team. That's the main reason.
So how does number one seeds lose all the time?
And BJ know this. The best defenses operate on a string. You only do that with repetition with your teammates. Period. That's why the regular season matters. That's why the regular season also matters when you're a deep team like the Clippers. You understand, okay, I know exactly what type of lineup I'm going to put out for this type of situation. Why? Because we test this out in the regular season, and I know it's going to work. All that matters in the regular season. I'm not saying the regular season matters to a certain extent.
Okay, so y'all ain't had Kevin Durant all year then, so y'all don't know what y'all doing either. So you can't do that, bro. You can't do that.
He's not a Suns fan. He's not a Suns fan. A30 ain't no Suns fan.
Okay, well, who's his team so I can see his motive? Who's your team, 30? I don't get 30, but you saying all year long. Remind me again how many games they played with this dude named Kevin Durant. How many games did they play? A lot less than what we played.
8 games.
I'm not sure. But what you just said debunks your own point because KD ain't even been there. But Mikal Bridges was there.
I literally said KD's tenure with the Suns isn't long enough for them to develop that elite level defensive continuity. That's exactly what I said. But they already shown to have elite level offensive continuity. That's something the Clippers don't got.
See, this is the problem with the Suns I have. This is why, because we saw this, and this is why I say this is the Suns show. I think Sturdy's very big on. He wants to see it before he believes it. And I hear you. But this is why I say no. But I see that's the beauty of basketball, bro. The Suns showed last year they can win 67 games. They showed that they can have this higher-powered offense, that CP3 was the point guard, Devin Booker was MVP candidate, Monty was the coach. Everything going great throughout the whole season. We seeing all the sample sizes you need to see. Then you see in the playoffs what happens. You saw the year before that. You saw with the Suns. Same thing. Great regular season. They talking like they're going to, get to the finals, and they got, talking all this trash throughout the whole season. Then you see they playing beautiful basketball. They face teams that are hurt, injured, and then they go against the Milwaukee Bucks and Giannis Antetokounmpo, and they get walked down 4 straight games. So, yeah, I'm a big believer in seeing it too, but I'm also a big believer in knowing who the personnel and the team I'm dealing with. What I've seen with the Clippers throughout not just this season, but the last couple of years, I've seen them have to actually dig deep down and build character, missing their best player against the conference finals, having to deal with injuries throughout the entire season this year and last year, and still find a way to get to the playoffs. That builds character. That builds toughness. That builds continuity. So I know when I'm dealing with what I'm looking at with this team. That's why I say I'm not disrespecting the Phoenix Suns. I understand why people pick them, but I don't think people understand what the Clippers have had to build. And that's why I say with PG situation, this is a personal matchup for the Clippers. This ain't let's just run it back. No, this is a personal matchup because, again, we've already given the Suns a series, and people in the Suns will agree to this. You had Kawhi Leonard that y'all not going to the finals. So why would I sit back? Why would I sit for 3 games? Why would I sit back for another year and allow this team to just have an easy pathway to the hell no over my dead body? You're not getting no easy path to the finals again. That shit ain't happening. That's why I said I'm not. These people saying that he's gonna come back game 6 and 7. What is PG at game 6 and 7 gonna be? How is that gonna help this team?
Remember the restriction? Like, that's not gonna help the team, bro. If he had to come back game 6 or 7, don't come back.
So that's what I'm saying. That's why I say. That's why I feel. I don't think he's going to sit out that long. This man's gonna come back at a reasonable time where he feels like he can be effective to the team. Could you imagine all the backlash it's gonna take for the Clippers if he chooses not to come back? Another lost season, all the jokes, the offseason that the Clippers are going to have to, bro, they're not going through that shit again. They're not going through that. They've been going through the last couple of years. Like, everybody now even said the Clippers, even though they've been injured, still act like, they ain't done nothing. But they don't put no context and say that they've actually been missing their best players.
That's a part of it.
That's part of it. Yeah.
It's a part of it, but make sure that people put that in there when they want to make all these soliloquies, bro.
Hey, not only was they out, BJ, but when they came back, they didn't even play back-to-backs. They didn't even play minutes. All the minutes. There was no minutes restrictions. That's why I said you can't go back on the regular season because it's guys don't minutes restriction, bro. Like that's those ratings and all that. That stuff's irrelevant, bro.
We talking about this series this whole time, bro. And PG is very questionable for this series. That's why we talking about it. Second thing, BJ, to keep it consistent, they do the same thing with every team. They honestly, go look at the odds, go look at everything. When your best players are missing, your championship odds do go down. That's just common knowledge. That's common sense. To be honest with you, they say the same thing about the Bucks. Will Chris Middleton be healthy enough for the Bucks to get out the East? They say the same thing about even the Suns. Will Chris Paul hold up because he has a history about of injuries in the playoffs? They do it with every team.
That's why I feel like I don't see PG sitting out this series. That's the thing.
PG, you watching this, bro? PG, I know you watching this. Listen, bro. Fuck what the team wants. Fuck what the franchise want. Go by your body.
Well, all it takes is one wrong move.
We seen
that's another thing. They don't want the Suns. Don't want it.
So many players rush their injury, try to come back for no reason, bro. Hell no, you don't need to do that. If you,
but is it really rushing back those 30? Is it really rushing back?
What's the schedule? BJ, you know the schedule.
It's 4 whole weeks. The recovery is only like what 2 to 6 weeks, depending on each player. It's 2 to 6 weeks recovery time on this stuff.
Hold on, BJ?
Game three is a full 30 days.
What?
He's been out for literally. He's going on out for a month, bro.
BJ, I'm not going by his duration being out. I'm going on what the man said less than 5 days ago. I know how long it takes to get back.
I heard him say he was grinding, and it's going to come down to the
Yes.
wire. I heard it's going to be
He
real
is
close.
grinding, but the way the human body works, and BJ know this, when you have a ligament or anything wrong with your ligaments, you have to recondition the muscle. You have to recondition the quad and the hamstring. That takes days to do, especially at this high ass level.
Okay, Giannis did.
How long
He's
is
not Giannis.
how long has
But
Paul
it's possible
George?
to be done though.
Oh,
That's
hold
all we're
on,
saying.
let me say this first. We gotta go by makeup. Sturdy. We just saw Paul George last year come back from a torn UCL injury, right? He came back when he didn't have to come back. We saw when he was playing the Trailblazers back in 2018 on OKC, he was playing with 2 bum shoulders. We seen this man come back from one of the most horrific leg injuries where his damn knee snapped in half. And for him to even be playing at this level is a testament of itself. My thing is, I've seen enough sample size of Paul George to know what he's built of. Now, this is Kawhi, it'd be a little bit different because he's so overcautious. He wouldn't come back. I've seen more than enough sample size with PG to say he's not going to be looking at like, oh, I got to be always 100% and I'm not going to come back for any certain. Bro, I've seen this dude come back from other injuries that's taken a lot longer to heal, and he didn't really have no second thoughts about it. So that's why I say that's why I ask, how serious is this injury?
No, and BJ, and that's what I'm trying to tell you, bro. When you've been injured multiple times, especially on your leg, you're gonna be very cautious. Trust and believe, you're gonna be very cautious. And that what Paul George literally said. I'm grinding every day and I'm making sure I'm doing necessary steps. He's doing rehab 6 days, 2.5 hours a day. I'm not saying his chance to come back is slim. Because BJ, you saw the schedule for the first round. When is game 4? Game 4 is today's game 1 is Sunday. You know, when is game 4?
They put all them games real close. This is the only series in the whole playoffs that the games are this close, bro.
Oh yeah, and Paul George talked about that too. Like, this
Kawhi,
that's how terrified they are of the Clippers, bro. The
No,
only
it's not.
series in the
Why
whole
would he?
playoffs.
Okay, bro, he's working. So he's working this hard. This is another thing, bro. This is why I say, bro, we gotta look at what I know. Players. This is one thing I know about players, and me personally, I don't like to waste time.
Exactly.
Why would I be working my ass off that amount of time strenuous just to miss the first round? And it's knowing what they're up against, No, bro. What Paul George said, now I've been watching the podcast too. He's expediting his process. This is why I say it's the ligaments healed. Now it's up to him. It's up to what Paul George does with his own individual work, how fast he gets back on the court. Because it's now about strengthening the muscle and reconditioning it. So now he controls how fast he comes back.
No. It's not him, BJ. It's how the Clippers front office and medical staff deem him ready when they have those checkpoint workouts.
The checkpoint. But he's the one that can say, like you just said though. You said fuck the organization, fuck the fans. If you don't feel right, you don't step out there. It's up to Paul George, like he did last year, to say, look, I'm ready to take that next step. I'm ready to do that check mark. I'm ready to do this. I don't believe Kawhi did that. I believe Kawhi chose to take the process slow and say, I'm more into my head thinking about it. I don't think PG's built like that. He's not going, bro, understand something. If he doesn't, it's a good chance. You're right. They won't win the series. So why would I still have this in my mind? Okay, I can come, bro. He's already thinking like, and that's pretty much saying the Clippers are going to win the series without him.
And they probably doing a little secretive shit too, bro. Even if they are 100% bringing it back, they gonna act like they're totally not bringing it back too. You got to play that into account too.
Bro, just last week, bro, last Saturday he was in a brace, bro, and people were saying he was limping. And now you're talking about 4 days later he's on the court shooting?
BJ, you know this honestly just as much, if not more than me, bro. It takes more than a few days for you to get your conditioning back, especially with your legs in this basketball game, bro. That shit's
Has he not been to conditioning, bro? Has he not been doing conditioning? That's why I'm saying we don't know what listen. We don't know what PG's been doing outside of what he's been showing us and what he's been telling us.
Exactly. That's why I'm just going by exactly what he words, because he's been transparent the entire time and respected him for that. That's why I'm just going by his words.
Okay.
5 days ago, he literally said 5 days ago, I just got my brace and I'm shooting at a standstill now. Okay, cool. That means you at least need 2 more weeks to get proper conditioning. At least 2 weeks.
But also
he also said
remember,
they've been bending and stretching it and working
bro,
that thing too. So it could have been in the brace that whole time. There ain't no way.
Bro, that's what I'm saying. You gotta look at what he said also. He said also before that, he said like I think almost 2 weeks, he said he was already doing all that stuff. He was already conditioned. Exactly. He was already doing he was already doing all that. So
BJ, you don't get conditioned without running, BJ. Not in basketball, you don't.
Bro, I don't know what he's been doing.
You got to get your miles.
You can do other ways. I don't know what he's been doing. I don't think that again. We can sit. I'm saying that I'm not going by based off of just everything. I'm not gonna say that PG hasn't been just sitting around or not just doing. He's just doing shooting, and that's just what he's been doing, bro.
No, I'm not saying that either. I'm not saying that either. I'm saying realistically, the process for him getting back is going to take more than a week. That's what I'm trying to tell people. That's just a fact. It's going to take more.
Has he started that process already?
Nigga, nobody knows.
That's what I'm trying to tell you, BJ. What the way these things work, after you get a certain checkpoint, they give you certain workouts that you have to match. You get the 1-on-1s, the physicality, the 3-on-3s. He can bypass some of those things, not all of them. He can bypass some of those things by signing a waiver. But either way, I'm telling you, he shouldn't do that because the risk is not worth the wait. If he's a competitor, he's going to get himself back right. But in basketball, especially in basketball, the only way you get your conditioning back is to get the miles in. And so he's an athletic jump shooter. Like BJ, you know this more than anybody. Your legs is the first thing to go when you're tired. Your jump shot is the first thing to go when you're tired.
What is he risking? If you're telling me that his muscle is healed, if you're telling me that he's actually his ligaments is so he's no cause of re-injury, right?
No, I'm saying actually when you come back, actually BJ, you actually increase your chance of getting re-hurt when you're fatigued. I'm telling you, it's going to take more than just a week for him to get that hamstring and quad back to a certain level, bro. That's all I'm saying.
What I think, bro, personally, I think it's more so, like I said, I don't think it's physically, I don't think what it is. I think it's more so them being precautious, like they've been doing all season. That's why I think it is. I don't think it has anything to do with PG not being ready physically. I think it's more so the Clippers are trying to be overly cautious again to try to cause any prevention of any re-injury. And we've seen throughout the season it hasn't worked. The Clippers are in a position right now because of load management. That's why they're in this position anyway. So you're telling me if they choose to sit him out the full series and they lose this series because all you're gonna keep hearing is what if we have PG? Bro, it's gonna be too late. So I think personally what's happening is it's up to the Clippers medical staff, because like Ty Lue said, we're not gonna throw him out there if it feel like it's gonna be a detriment.
BJ, what's the date? What's the date for Game 4? What's the date for Game 4?
That's Thursday.
I think it's
Saturday, right?
There's no way it's Thursday. There's no way it's Thursday.
Saturday.
That's a week, bro.
But he's already been trained. It's been a week and a half, 2 weeks in already.
The only issue I have is 30's giving a good debate back and forth. But the only issue I have is 30 act like this is impossible. We just watched this shit happen last year or 2 years ago. Like this ain't as impossible as 30 is making it. And this is my other point. To me, y'all can have your own opinions. Opinions don't mean nothing. To me, the most important time we only need this man is the last 8 minutes in the fourth quarter. So if he even comes back and plays 25 minutes, bro, I'm good with that. I think we win the series. That's my opinion. Y'all can think what y'all want to think. If he can play the last 8 minutes, we ain't got to play this man the whole damn game. Like, he
definitely gonna come.
We talking about beating y'all without this man. Like we having a debate. We having a debate about this series being a long series without him. So if it's a long series without him, then he comes back for 25 minutes. Then what is that? It's already long without him. So with him, that has to put you at Clippers winning the series, right? If you're saying it's long already.
With him healthy, with him the Suns ain't even this confident, bro. The Suns
No,
ain't
with
talking
him,
all this
with
shit.
him,
With
with
them,
him.
they
Real
losing
talk,
this
real
game in
talk. If he
six.
was
That's what you
healthy,
think.
Y'all not
if he
not
was
that
healthy,
confident,
BJ,
bro.
real talk, BJ, if he was healthy, real talk, I still got this series going 7 either way. Like
Okay.
I don't know what's up with Clipper fans and Suns fans to think the bro. Y'all need to chill out, bro. Y'all this
Suns in
But
5,
hey,
bro.
but be honest, bro.
Suns
But
in
be
5.
honest, 30.
Suns in 5.
If they're fully healthy, is it because the Clippers you don't trust that the Clippers mindset they don't put the emphasis enough and actually close the door? Or do you think this is because of what the Suns can do? Like, be honest. You think
combination
it's
of
more
both.
about what the Suns or the Clippers?
Combination of both. When you play that, when you execute that Spain pick and roll at a high level, you put a lot of pressure on your team's communication. That's the one thing the Clippers have not solved since Kawhi and PG been there. The communication on a consistent level defensively. So that's
But
why I said so pick him either way if he was healthy because of that thing. What they do best, exploit y'all biggest weakness.
but have we seen the Suns play against a fully loaded team play against the Clippers? We ain't seen them this season, right? We haven't
And
seen we haven't seen the Clippers have to deal with that.
with
We
all that,
haven't played the Suns all year. So,
BJ, I ain't
like I
with all
said, but we have seen the Celtics be able to guard that Spain pick and roll, and like you just said, bro, the Clippers have the personnel to do it. Your only question is you ain't seen it.
The Celtics
And
rank
that's what makes
1
it
in the
even
East.
No,
more
The
no,
Suns
no,
weird.
rank
no.
18.
Well, my thing is, I've seen the inconsistency of the Clippers' communication. I've
Yes,
seen that too many times. Not just this season, since PG and Kawhi got together. Period. No matter who the coach was, no matter who the players was around them, that has always been y'all the most inconsistent trait. Period. I always told you, BJ, y'all can shoot the three. Y'all have the personnel do a lot of shit, but y'all fundamentals defensively, it pissed me off. And it only pissed me off because y'all don't show any of those inconsistencies.
Why is
when
it
y'all play
pissing
the
you off?
Lakers.
You're not a Clippers fan. I understand.
No, I'm a fan of the game. It pissed me off because y'all don't show any of this signs when y'all go against the Lakers. Every other team, y'all inconsistent communication. And that shit
Okay.
So,
is
So
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 why is that?
effort,
So
30.
why is that the
So,
case?
so,
So why do you feel like that's the case, though, Sturdy? Why
I
do you
don't
say
so
that's
it's
why
about
that's
effort.
BJ,
So
that's
you
why I
don't
Sturdy
said
saying
know?
it's about
it's
effort,
the
correct?
players, bro. But I just told you, BJ, it's the players. The players get up for the Lakers. You don't win a championship like that. You get up for every team that's in front of you. Every team that's in front of you,
we,
plan to stump, you plan to rip out their throat
I have a
and
question
stomp
for
their heart
Sturdy.
out. You don't just
Go
get
ahead,
up for
Bruce.
one team.
Go
Mr.
ahead, Bruce.
Sturdy, I've been listening. I mean, you're making all the points for the Clippers to lose. So can you make points? Can you make?
No, BJ.
Can you
I mean,
give reason
I
for
actually
why
made
the Clippers can win? Because
Hey,
if
no,
they
I did.
win
he
I
asking
game
did.
you a
one,
question, 30. Talk to him. Don't talk to BJ. Talk to him. He asked you a question.
Bruce, I said to answer your question, Bruce, I said earlier, in order for the Clippers to win this series, the guards have to supplement what PG brought scoring wise and playmaking wise. On top of that, you have to prioritize doubling Booker than opposed to doubling KD. Primarily because Booker is the lesser playmaker of KD. Y'all gonna attack the rim. Y'all should in order for y'all to win, y'all should attack the rim nearly all times. Y'all shouldn't settle for threes. Y'all should always try to drive and kick because, like y'all, they don't have elite rim protection.
does
That's
KD
why I
attack
told.
the
That's
rim?
why I said,
Does
Bruce.
KD
That's why I
attack the
said
rim?
he helps, but he's not. Like I said, he's not an elite rim protector either. That's why I
No,
said
he
to
No.
said that
Does KD
because he
goes to the
That's why I
rim?
attacked.
said
He
to
attacked the
BJ.
rim.
That's why Bruce. That's why I said to Bruce. That's why I said to BJ earlier that I believe Westbrook's going to have a good series this season. I mean, this series because of that. I believe Kawhi's going to have a good series because of that. What's going to happen is going to because of X factors. Is what are the guards going to do to optimize the offense? I'm not saying just catch and shoot. That's simple. I'm talking about optimizing the offense. Are you going to make the additional pass or the additional play make on the weak
Well,
side when the defense is coming at you?
I'm
well, here's
sorry,
the thing.
Westbrook
You
is not
got
like
Hey,
that.
four.
hey,
So let me also say this. I'm gonna let Bruce say this. You got four dudes on the Clippers who can attack the rim. So you just Bruce
Power
30. You
loves
just
attacking the rim, bro.
30. You
Four
just
dudes.
said it. 30. You just
Four
said it.
dudes.
The Clippers have four dudes that can legitimately get to the rim, and that's uh
BJ,
Russell
you got to call
Westbrook.
me these four
Russell
dudes.
Westbrook. That's also Norman Powell, who's going to have a good series as well in this series. He's going to exploit that. That's why I said that's going to be another person you're going to exploit. I don't have questions about that because I know what he's going to bring that he makes Phoenix lack. They don't have good rim protection. They're going to attack the rim. Terrence Mann's going to attack the rim and the offensive glass. So you got four legit dudes on the Clippers who can attack and make the Suns very vulnerable. Now, who on the Suns attacks the rim?
Who can, like you said, or who does? There's a difference.
Who does and who does?
No,
Okay.
you can't do that. If you're gonna say you want to see it, then you ain't seen it yet. So answer the question. Don't say who can.
No, I'm answering the question.
You said you wanted to
I'm
see
trying to get
what the Clippers can do,
BJ
but you
said
be changing up your narrative every time a question is asked.
Bro.
No.
Listen.
Who does?
Listen. It's very simple. BJ said it slightly differently. He asked me how many he said the
Man,
Clippers.
you're stalling, man. You're stalling.
No, I'm not
Answer the
stalling.
question.
He's a spin doctor, bro.
Hold on. Let me see what Sturdy has to say. Go ahead,
I'm
Sturdy.
not like an ignorant nigga just gonna answer the question. Just answer the question. I want clarification first. Now, BJ, you said how many do they have, or who the people that does?
Who have you seen? Who are you confident? I'm gonna go with this. Who are you confident that's going to attack the rim consistently against this Clipper team?
Only person that can attack.
Exactly.
Nigga, I'm answering the question. I understand you have a short
You
attention
think
span.
it because you ain't got no answer.
Nigga, I have an answer. I'm literally about
And
to
when
say
you do get an answer, I'm gonna put Zubac right at the rim to meet him. So
Go ahead.
a role
Go
player.
ahead, Sturdy.
The only person that consistently attacks the rim in that offense is DeAndre Ayton when he rolls.
Oh my God.
Kevin
Okay.
Booker. Now, I'm answering your
We
question.
ain't worried about that.
Kevin Booker, Chris Paul, even Cameron Payne, they prefer to jump. Their jump shot in preference individuals. The only consistent threat they do have, to answer your question, is DeAndre Ayton.
Okay. So don't you think that's why I say that I'm not so concerned about all these names? Oh, Booker's gonna get 25, KD's gonna get 25, Chris Paul, because I know what you gotta remember too, Sturdy, and I'm pretty sure you know this. When you attack the basket, and this is what the mental warfare plays in a role as well. When you attack the basket consistently against a team like the Phoenix Suns and continuously stop the game, that's going to make the Suns have to rethink their whole defensive scheme. That's why I said the Clippers have way too many options for the Suns to be able to stop. You just said that the best attacker was DeAndre Ayton, and that's only because he's 7 foot tall and he's close to the basket. None of those guys you name who are so elite on offense, Chris Paul, Devin Booker, and KD attack the basket.
So BJ, what did I say? What did I say in regards to how do the Suns exploit the Clippers' biggest weakness? What did I say in terms of that?
But there's a thing though. This is the problem. This is why I say though the Clippers, everything that you give, they have an answer for. They just don't. Hold on. They have an answer for their ball movement because they have the length and personnel for it. But the Suns there's certain things the Suns cannot do because they don't have the personnel and they don't have the athletes nor the players to do it. They don't have like I said, they have nobody for Kawhi Leonard, but you have bodies to throw at Kevin Durant. That's the difference in this series. When you trade away Mikal Bridges, Jay Crowder, and Cam Johnson, you trade away 3 guys you can use in this series. That's why I keep saying they have things that they can exploit for the Suns, but the Suns don't have things they can exploit for the Clippers in certain things.
Oh, we agree to disagree then. We agree to disagree on that.
Ayton doesn't even really attack to him when he doesn't get the ball. He's not gonna get the ball.
Yeah, ain't no fuck around to quit on this whole team, bro. Come on, man.
He doesn't even attack.
That's why when you missed it, I said for the Suns, he's their X factor. If he constantly provide an interior force on the boards as well as offensively and defensively, they will win. That's why I specifically said.
If he's their X factor, they're in trouble.
No, they're not. That's the point. Like
he's not killing Zubac, bro. It's not him.
I got a question for Sturdy. So you said something. You got about 10 minutes left. So you brought up a fair question. You said Terrence Mann, if he plays 39 minutes, where these other players like Norman Powell, Eric Gordon get their minutes, which I agree. I don't think T-Man needs to play that many minutes.
Yeah, that's common.
But I asked this question to you. If you're telling me, and I don't think you said it, but I'm pretty sure Africa and Melo said it. Don't you think if you got 4 guys that you are depending on to give you 20 points, and I'm talking about Booker, Aiden, and KD give you over 25, 20 points, and then you got Chris Paul falling behind with another 15, 20 points, which makes them top heavy. What's that going to leave the other players to be able to do? Don't you think that's going to take away from the team aspect? You're making yourself top heavy against a team that's the Clippers are the wrong team to do that
BJ,
top heavy shit to.
That's BJ. Yes, they understood that. That's why they traded for KD. But that's the catch. That's the part of you making that trade. On one hand, you give up some depth and flexibility in your lineups for the playoffs because everybody run 8 deep. But on the other hand, you have elite guys that can score and play make for everybody else. There's a reason why that you mentioned are also the leading guys in assists for that team. There's a reason why they'll also create and generate more 3-point shots. I believe 3rd in the league in terms of starting 5. Like that, there's a reason for that, BJ. And only reason why that is, especially that's going to be exploited this series, like I said before, y'all communication is so inconsistent. Y'all do have the personnel, but you and I both
know that can be fixed.
That's fixable. That's fixable.
That's a fixable asset.
That's all that is. It's the playoff. The effort to be there.
That's a fixable asset.
If the effort wasn't going to be there in 30, y'all would the Suns wouldn't have been in Game 6 with us without 3 of our damn key pieces.
All it is look, bro, Sturdy. You said inconsistencies, meaning you've seen the Clippers do it, but for whatever reason, they don't take the challenge. This is the playoff. This is why I say it's a fixable asset.
Exactly.
Because defense is not rocket science. All it is just simply talking. And you have the weapons already. It's simply pointing, talking, and actually communicating. What I'm saying to you about the Suns, there are certain things they just can't do no matter how hard they try. They cannot protect the rim, like you just said. They don't have the rim protection for all 4 of those guys. Norman Powell, Terrence Mann, and Kawhi can attack the rim.
He just chooses. I don't know what they watch.
He picks and chooses. Don't tell me Kawhi don't attack the rim.
No, I said he's not going to on a consistent basis, and
he don't have to. He don't have to.
He's not going to.
He don't have to. Why would I attack the rim? Why would I attack?
Rim pressure is going to come from Westbrook. That's just a fact.
They got Westbrook,
Gordon, T-Man. They all do it, bro. Like
they have 4 dudes that can attack the rim, bro. They have 4 dudes that can attack the rim. Why would I?
Why would I get beat every year?
Why would I attack the rim off? What Kawhi's thinking? What Kawhi's thinking in his head is like, bro, why would I attack the rim consistently when I'm already shooting damn near 60% from the field as it is? I'm taking high quality shots while not taking the punishment. Exactly. Why would I attack the rim every single? That's stupid. The mid range is a very effective shot, and also he operates in the post. That's why I say Josh Okogie ain't gonna be able to do nothing with him. And then if they try to put Torrey Craig on him, he's gonna do the same thing. He's gonna take high quality shots.
So BJ, what you just did, you just described exactly how the Suns gonna get their bread and butter. I agree with you. They're not gonna put rim protect. They're not gonna put extensive rim pressure on y'all. They're not. But because they're so efficient at shooting the 3, at shooting the mid range, that's gonna be a problem for y'all.
They're not a good 3-point shooting team. No, they're not. They're a good mid range shooting team. They traded their 3 guys. Jay Crowder, Mikal Bridges, and Cam Johnson were responsible for the 3. They don't have 3-point shooters on that team, elite.
And we will give defensive effort in the fourth quarter.
Devin Booker's a mid-range shooter. Kevin Durant's a mid-range shooter. And Chris Paul's more of a mid-range shooter. That's where they get most of their points. Okogie cannot shoot the 3 consistently. Torrey Craig is 40% from the 3 of a small sample size. They don't have elite 3-point shooting, bro. They're mid-range happy. That's why I say the Kings were better. They would have probably blew this team out more than the Suns because they actually have more 3-point shooters.
BJ, let me just let you know a little something. And this is why the regular season matters. Y'all average about 33 threes a game. They average 32.6. That's about the same, right? Y'all shoot from y'all 3-point percentage from 3 is 38%, and there's 37%. That's about the same.
So if the regular season mattered, then how the Suns did?
Bro,
How the Suns
again,
ain't won no title yet? Then
that's why I'm
how
saying,
they
bro.
losing
They
game?
win the title.
How they
Hold
losing
on.
game
How the
7
Clippers
if
they
the
win the
regular
title?
season and
30,
continuity
30,
Hold on,
30.
bro. I'm sick of this
30.
narrative shit, bro. Like I've been trying to talk
30.
about the nigga talking about narratives and shit. I don't give a
30.
fuck what happened last year's, bro. It has nothing to do
30.
with
That was the regular season. They got them there with that high
30.
seed.
It
30.
has nothing to do with
You're
What
absolutely
did that
right.
high seed get you when it mattered?
30. You're
Nigga, y'all
absolutely
know how I feel.
Emotional.
Hold on, I'm gonna say this for
30.
last time. Now, hold on, BJ. I gotta say this.
What did all that regular season stuff get you last year when it mattered?
That applies to the Suns, applies to the Clippers.
Nothing. It
Injury
got you
prone,
nothing.
both teams. Inconsistent defense, both teams. Both teams didn't win shit.
Sturdy.
So like it's
Hey, what do we do when we was healthy? When Kawhi been on the court, what's happening in the playoffs when Kawhi was on the court?
he get hurt.
Sturdy. See that?
Okay, what happened before that then?
Oh, okay. What happened before that? The only time he was healthy, y'all gave up 3-1 lead. Any other time, Matt?
Negative
Okay.
2021. We was cut like that. So all you gonna do is go back to where Doc Rivers is at. So you just gonna skip over everything. You don't want to talk about last year, but you want to talk about Doc Rivers, bro. Get out of here, bro.
Before that,
Sturdy.
y'all did give up 3-1 lead. I'm just answering your question. You don't like hate that.
I said the last time Kawhi was healthy on the court, it wasn't the bubble.
Gave up 3-1 lead, nigga. That's what happened.
He was playing before he got hurt. He was playing in 2021. He was the best player in the playoffs in 2021.
He got hurt in 2021. That's why I answered your question, dummy.
Before that, I said before that.
Before that, the only time he was healthy with the Clippers in 2020. When y'all gave us
I'm
3-1
talking
lead.
in the games he played in 2021 when he walked in the locker room and he told Ty Lue, you ain't cutting it no more. I'm guarding who I want to guard. We taking over the series. That's what he did.
That's good. That's not. Y'all not facing Dallas.
So we can't do that, right? So we can't do that, right?
Dallas tomorrow.
Sturdy.
So we
So
can't do that. Dallas beat the Suns last year.
I didn't bring up no other player that wasn't involved in y'all series tomorrow. I didn't bring up no other team
Sturdy.
not involved in y'all series tomorrow.
And if you want to talk about the bubble, we didn't have Westbrook and Powell or Gordon either. Oh, and T-Man didn't play.
Sturdy. I got something to say.
So I mean, like, bro, you want to hype about the regular season all year long, which is cool.
Nigga.
I'm gonna let you have that. Y'all got a higher seed, but if you want to hype that, then what did that hype get the Suns last year?
Hold on. Get my sign on.
What did that matter? What did it matter? Explain that. What did it matter?
Let me jump in because I gotta get this. I gotta get out of here soon. Okay, Sturdy. This is what I heard. Sturdy's he's not a Suns fan. Get my shot. He's on.
He sure acting like one.
No, he's not.
No,
Here's the thing. Here's the thing.
I'm not saying he's not.
Hold on. Let me put this out.
I hate dumbass narratives, bro. Like I didn't bring up no regular season. I just kept it strictly what the fuck is going to happen in the series.
Yes, you just did. You said what the Clippers been doing all year inconsistent. That's regular season. We talking about what can and can't happen right now with effort. That's what we talking about. We ain't talking about let's pick games back then. Because if you want to pick games, they put it on the Suns if you want to pick games.
No, that's not regular season. That's y'all existence. Y'all was inconsistent defensively in the playoffs. Y'all was inconsistent in defense in the regular season. Since, like I said before, because I know you don't listen attentively. Since Kawhi and PG got together, y'all been inconsistent defensively. No matter who the coach is.
Okay. The Suns been inconsistent. KD been inconsistent. So squad run that out of here then.
Okay, that's the point, nigga.
Okay, I gotta mute y'all. Y'all gotta stop for a minute. Listen, let me go to Sturdy's point. He brought up the 3-point shooting. He said that 38% was because of the Clippers shooting, and then 37% was the Suns this season. That's correct. You're absolutely right, Sturdy. This is why I said you did the whole season though. They had Mikal Bridges, Jay Crowder, who did not play, but they had Mikal Bridges and they had Cam Johnson on that team.
BJ, you don't want to do since the trade deadline.
But I'm saying they're not an elite 3-point shooting team. They're a mid-range shooting team, very similar to the Clippers. You also brought up a point also with how they're built. You said the Clippers and the Suns have been inconsistent. Here's the difference. The Suns have been healthy the last couple seasons. This is why I can really give a full glimpse of how their team is. They've had the same core, and they've shown me their makeup the last 2 seasons. They get Kevin Durant, who definitely helps them, but they also take away from their depth. And when you face a team like the Clippers, you don't want to be top heavy. You don't want that's a recipe for disaster. Now, see, if you had like a team like I don't know Minnesota or a young team like New Orleans, we got Kevin Durant. That might work, but you're not going to pull that against a seasoned team that's been battle tested and say that Kevin Durant that's the end all be all. They're not, and you got Kawhi Leonard on the other side. That's why I say just the addition of Kevin Durant, Kawhi's going to cancel out. So all pretty much Phoenix is the same team that's been blowing these leads and actually been mentally fragile. They're a mentally fragile team. And you got a coach in Monty Williams who does not make adjustments in the series. And you go against a Ty Lue who does make good adjustments that you already admitted. He's going to make him have to coach in this series. Now, I don't blame you for picking the Suns in this because, with the whole PG situation. All I'm saying is this. When I look at the makeup of the Phoenix Suns, I've already been seeing how they are mentally made up, with Chris Paul and Devin Booker and that whole DeAndre Ayton situation. I just know how they're built, which is why I say it's going to be very vital. This is going to be a series where guys like Westbrook, Norman Powell, Terrence Mann are going to play very big, and I don't have to question and wait because they're going to be the ones attacking DeAndre Ayton in that post, in that paint. The Clippers are a more mentally tougher team than the Suns. I mean, that's pretty much the gist of what I have to say.
I get that, BJ, and I just use things that's empirically backed up. I don't go about mentality. I don't go about none of that shit because I'm not a sports psychologist. All I'm saying is if you're going by that narrative, you got to keep the same energy in the narrative for the Clippers too. That's why I don't do narratives. Because the way niggas use them, they use it one-sided. They use it one way. I keep it strictly about ball. I told you, and I know Sean is not gonna listen to it. I told you, but you asked me if PG was healthy, what series or outcome? I said 7 games out of the way. That's what I said. There's a reason why.
Why do you think it's gonna be 7 games with PG?
Because the reason I think it's 7 games with PG because you got one, you have 2 guys, you have 2 defenders, multiple defenders that can put pressure on Booker and KD defensively, but most importantly, attack all 3 of those guys. The 3 they make.
No, well, I'm saying why do you give the Suns that big of a chance? Because I think that's giving. I think
without PG, it limits y'all. It limits the way y'all can attack guys like Chris Paul, guys like Devin Booker. Because the way the Suns, if you watch the Suns been playing all season, Chris Paul has not been playing good defense. So the way they hide him, they pre-switch. So when people try to matchup hunt, they switch him with the weak side guy before he can even get that switch opportunity. With Paul George, y'all would have more opportunities with that. Y'all don't have Paul George so far as we know so far.
No, I'm saying when I ask my question, if we had Paul George, you said it will still go 7. I don't see how you can say that it will still go 7.
I just said it will go 7 because Paul George will help y'all with putting pressure on their defense.
No. I said I think the Clippers will win that series in 5 or 6 games with PG.
Yeah, I gotta stop at 5. Bro.
I know. Bro, listen. I don't think that the Suns, the Clippers are a good matchup for the Suns. They're a bad matchup because they have the wings to exploit Kevin Durant and Devin Booker, and then they have the bench. That's why I think the series would go 5 or 6 games. It's not a disrespect. I believe that's what would happen. I've seen just because Phoenix has talent doesn't mean they're going to automatically win a series. Like they've had talent the last couple seasons. Hell, you can even say with that series against Milwaukee, they had more talent. It's just that one player nullified that in Giannis Antetokounmpo. Same thing with last year with Luka Doncic. One player nullified that. They had other pieces around them with Jalen Brunson and Spencer Dinwiddie, but to be the perfectly honest, those 2 star players took over those series.
No, and this why the defensive adjustments that Jason Kidd and Mike Boozer made don't get enough credit. The defense is the reason why that team got washed. And I don't know, in Game 7, that was just the Suns gave up. But before that, the reason why the series turned around, go look out the defensive adjustments that Jason Kidd was doing. He was showing more in the pick and roll. He was trapping more in the pick and roll with Coach Bud. You notice
Who they trapping?
They was trapping Booker.
Okay.
Before Game 2, they wasn't trapping Booker that much.
Yeah, Booker was terrible in that trap too.
So
No,
you
what I'm
don't
saying, once
think
you start
so you
getting the
don't think
ball out
that
of
the
Booker's
Clippers are
hands,
smart enough to do the same? Like I just said with that
that's why I
same
said, I said
that
that
same offense.
same thing. BJ, I said the same exact thing. I said y'all should prioritize doubling Booker than opposed to doubling KD because whatever KD output is, Kawhi is going to match and vice versa.
I
However,
agree.
in addition, the reason why you double Booker more than KD because Booker is not good as a playmaker as KD is. If y'all niggas start doubling KD, that's a problem.
Right. I would double Chris Paul. That's just
No,
me.
why would you double Chris Paul? That's the last
No,
nigga you double.
no. Out of the Spain pick and roll. Or you could say
Yeah,
Booker too. You could say
hey, BJ, you mean trap, right? You mean
yeah, I
trap
would
Chris
trap. I
Paul
would
off the
trap.
same
Only
pick and
thing,
roll,
no,
which messes up the whole offense.
But
that's what I was
you
why I'm
trap
saying.
Chris.
No, the point. Hold on, Sturdy. Like this is why I say blitzing that Spain pick and roll. This is I'm not saying I would at least test it out because you do have as much of an elite playmaker Chris Paul is. You have elite ball point of attackers in Russell Westbrook and Terrence Mann who are taller than CP3, who can actually bother. And once you blitz that early, it makes and forces Chris Paul to have to make a decision quickly. The last thing you want to do is have Chris Paul set up the offense, pointing people where they need to be at. You want to put pressure on Chris Paul early and often. That's why I would say the only reason you would trap him out that first instance of that Spain pick and roll. But I don't mind Devin Booker because he's, like you say, he's not a great
The reason
playmaker.
don't not trap Chris Paul because he's going to give that ball up quick as hell. He's not a scoring threat this year. That's what I'm trying to tell people, bro. Chris Paul do not have to score like he did every single year he was in the playoffs before. He's not even the third low key. He's not even a third option scoring wise on his team anymore. So when you trap him, you're actually helping them get into their isolation and motion
Not if
offense
you
even
trap
more.
early. Not if you trap early. He's a threat.
The way you get BJ, the way you get Chris Paul out of there, if you attack his ass defensively, that's how you get him out.
That's what I said we're
We're
gonna
gonna do that with Westbrook. They're gonna do that with Westbrook.
Yeah, but bro, all we gotta do is post him and Booker. Get one of them is getting in foul trouble, bro. One of them. Expect Chris Paul loves to hack anyway, bro. He can be in foul trouble 2 seconds in any game. He's a complete hack.
Something else that we not paying. Norman Powell's gonna get Devin Booker in possible foul trouble. So that's another thing people
Powell's
aren't.
in the feast, bro. Powell's averaging 25 a game, and you can remember this.
Oh, we'll see. Let's see. But hey, fellas, man.
Because he's going to get the ball. Go ahead, BJ.
Nah, but good,
go.
good looks, BJ. Good talk. But like y'all get them lights up. BJ, real talk. I love talking ball with you, bro. Less narratives, more ball. That's to be the wave for 2023. But I'll holler at y'all. But great EP. Great EP.
Hey man, appreciate you, brother. Appreciate y'all coming in, man.
Good conversation, Sturdy. Appreciate you.
Yes, sir. Appreciate y'all, man. My man, get my shine on, Bruce. Hey, Sturdy. All y'all coming in here, man. Appreciate y'all, brothers, man, for sure. Get those likes up, man. We got 66 people here. We should have over 60, 70 likes, man. Go to our Cash App. If you guys have not gone to the Cash App, you guys liked what we said, you talked about, man. All these people, you know what I'm saying, that, you know, have been distributing the Cash Apps, you know what I'm saying? Definitely appreciate y'all, man. And like I said, man, it doesn't have to be much. It can be, you know what I'm saying, $2, $3, you know what I'm saying? It doesn't have to be like a whole bunch. Like I know people, whatever you choose to, you know, show your love to is all well appreciated, man. Definitely enjoy, you know, having players and having you guys like on the panel, man. The Cash App right there, $ BJ Matthews, PayPal, Project Masters. The link is right there on the top of the chat box. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, man, what y'all think? Y'all think the Clippers are going to prevail? Y'all think the Suns are going to prevail? How many games? Y'all opinions and all that stuff. I definitely appreciate y'all coming through, man. It's always a pleasure having y'all into the discussion, man. We will be back on after tomorrow's game. Actually, tomorrow morning we'll be back on for Sunday morning talk with my boy Rick. And we respectfully say, pull up a seat, pull up a chair, pull up. Peace. Out of here like swim well.